pause the... Well, now that we're recording on OBS, so we don't lose all of that wonderful information. What was your number on that perception roll as we look through Navi?
Pretty sure it's 13.
A 13 total. Right, so as you look at the first one, it seems to be relatively in good condition on the outside. There's small bits of overgrowth kind of strewn about. And sorry, I finished the Brussels sprout. And there's a small group of people that are gathered out front, looking at what looks to be a job board.
Okay.
Would you like to go investigate the other one, or check this one out more in depth?
So check this one out more in depth, as it seems pretty busy, so, there'd be possibly more people, so less likely to be shanked in the night.
Okay, so we will come back to you in a second and move on to our next person on the list, which happens to be younger now. It moved around on me when I backed out. Younger.
Yes. I recoalesced into existence, I suppose.
Yes, that is important. Recoalescing into existence. Yeah, so I'll retcon that really quick so you guys know where he came from. He was sitting just outside the city gate of the North Gate, waiting for us to appear. He had foreseen that we would come this way. His patron had let him know, or he just had a feeling. However you want to describe it. And he has joined us from this point forward. You may continue. Sorry.
I see you brought another one of you along with you.
Brophy looks over to you and says, "Yes, more the merrier." Look, our last companions got murked in a pool of magic, so they're brave enough to stick with us. Cool beans. Also, I thought you were going back home to your family. Did that change?
I was originally given a mission. I eventually have to report of the answer. However, I was not given a timeline as to which this was to be completed.
I see.
And I could also inform the princess of the neighboring kingdom that her future possible husband is dead.
That might be a downer for them. I would see why you might want to hold off on that for a little. So, what would you like to do?
For the time being, though, does any of the other party members count as undead who are damaged? Like the guy who looks like a strewn about parts of people sewn together?
The terrifying Warforged,
a technical difficulties character.
No, he is not technically undead. He is Warforged, and they are technically alive. He's also not technically a construct because he has a real soul. He is a real boy. Or in this case, was a real boy and is now a monstrosity that is waddling around spewing blood on occasion. No offense meant.
Okay.
None taken.
I'm able to see my
So I know of the orc. Who is this other that travels with you?
We picked it. He was captured at where we were captured, except for they had him tied upstairs. So he's a oh, sorry, I should probably take that off. He's a investigator or something. He's interested in the Imperial records, and I promised him he could go check them out if he keeps with us.
Yeah, you see Ambition just kind of like his arms his arms are kind of crossed, but he kind of lifts his right arm up and just kind of says yo before he crosses his arms again.
Yeah, when you see me, I kind of look like what you would think of a stereotypical mummy, except strewn with black linens instead of typical white ones, with a robe across him. I say, very well.
He's a Dark Souls
since
mummy.
there seems to be a lot of a lot of these Fae around. I'll see if they leave any remnants.
Okay, so what do you mean by remnants? This is a DM question, not a Profi question.
I am looking for the graveyard.
Ah, a Fae graveyard. An interesting thing. Go ahead and see if you go ahead and do a history check to see if you know anything about what Fae do with their dead.
I love this. I have advantage on all history checks.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
A 14 plus 3, 17.
A 17, yeah. So you would know that Fae are one of the more spiritually attuned species, or, you know, I don't want to say species because it covers a whole bunch of species, but groups of
Races.
people. Races, thank you. A set of races. I don't know. What do you call a group of races? Anyway. That not generally do not bury their dead in a traditional manner. They generally burn them or make them part of their constructions and whatnot. Many mushroom houses that people live in were built on the former bodies of family members. They literally helped construct the house after they died. Others are burned alive, or not burned alive. Sorry, burned at in some kind of funeral pyre-like thing. And things like that. Graveyards in general don't exist in Fae-dominated areas unless they have been intermixed heavily with humans or dwarves who do bury their dead on occasion.
I see. Is there any abandoned houses?
Like I said in the original description, yes, you do see abandoned houses and buildings that have been overgrown with stuff and things, and again, some that are just shut, closed to public or closed permanently. This town definitely isn't like dying or anything, but it definitely has a third of its houses or buildings would be in a condemned state.
I will definitely go to the one in the middle of all of the other condemned houses and then use my darkness trait to attempt to go inside of it.
Okay, well, the darkness trait does what? Just out of curiosity.
I can teleport to any point that I can see within 30 feet of me within darkness.
Okay, so the only issue with that
I
is
can also become invisible at will in dark.
Nice. So the only issue with using that ability currently is you have the Nightcrawler effect, which means if you can't see it, you can't get in it. Unless you've previously seen the
Yes,
room
so I'm
kind of
tempted
thing.
to look through a window or the door crack.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
My passive percept is a sec.
Hey, your face.
13.
13. Okay, so as you take a couple minutes to do so, you do so. But before we continue on with your thing, we're gonna.
Face.
Yeah, your face is. Look, he has a beard. He's looking like me. Oh God, doppelganger. So to cutscene from what's on the inside, because I'm gonna save that for our second round through the stuff. Jumping over to Sean. Sean.
Yeah.
The mummy has disappeared, and our handy dandy paladin is gallivanting through the city, finding lodging for us all. What are you doing? What is Ambition trying to obtain in the city, or just do?
So he's gonna look at that job board real quick. I mean, did he see it when he came in by chance?
So the general description was kind of just an overview as you guys were looking around. You could be traveling with Castaway currently. You don't necessarily have to be on your own.
Okay.
If you say I was with him, you could just skip that part and go straight to the job board. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll be traveling with Castaway, and then I'll look at it just because one of the ways that my character kind of earns his income is kind of like just like solving like minor crimes and stuff, or just like minor cases.
Okay.
So he's gonna kind of like look for anything that like you know I guess he's gonna look for like maybe like someone lost something or someone like
Sure.
needs something checked out or whatnot.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a d12, and we'll see how many of these jobs fit those kind of things that you think the group or yourself could handle.
Okay. 10.
10. Oh, man. So this job board is just filled with stuff that this new group of people that you're with could probably finish. Not to mention the stuff that you're good at. So with that D10, or with that 10, can you also roll me a D10, and we'll see how many jobs you personally can take care of, or think you can
Sure.
personally take care of?
Sure. 9.
Not 9?
9. Yep.
Oh, okay. So most of it is little tiny jobs that are, hey, I need this person found, or we're missing this equipment / item, reward for wallets, things like that. Okay, there's 9 of those jobs that have been posted that are relatively simple. That if you spend time in town instead of shopping and doing things, you can solve and get other stuff for it.
Okay. He'll.
Do you want to know about the other job that is something that you think the group can take care of or might handle?
Sure. Also, he was also. I don't know if he probably found it or not, but he was also looking for any like info, like missing kid or something that could lead him in a direction.
Gotcha. So I'm going to say at this point, no. There was nothing special that you pings your detective sensiness that is, hey, this will probably lead to something else. Now, does that mean that none of the jobs won't have something like that mixed in with it? No. But
Gotcha.
nothing that pops out to you that would be like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do first. Excuse me, sorry. So, hey, someone typed. Man, I really like that one. So someone on Twitter just gave me a job. There's a horde of celestial dire squirrels that are eating all the fruits and nuts in a local orchard, and they need an extermination crew to take care of them.
That's good. I like that one.
I like this idea.
That's freaking great. Oh my god. Thank you. I love it. So, excuse me, sorry. With that, that's a job for you guys to pick up and check out later. I'm going to say the fruit and nut orchards are within a day of the town, so it's not like you guys will have to travel very far. And directions to get there will be relatively easy. That might even be on the job description on like locations of where it could be. So, while you're looking through the jobs and things like that, we're going to cutscene over to Frozen. Frozen, are you able to talk, or are you still busy?
I'm able to talk. I just was
Perfect.
crunching and munching, so.
I understand. So, what would you like to do in town? Are you with the others? Are you doing your own thing? What is your plan in Malvern?
While everybody else is kind of running around, I'm going to go ahead and stay with Profi.
Okay, you're keeping Profi safe. I will. Then we'll talk about things on my turn, and we'll jump to other people and come back to us. So,
Sounds good.
Technical difficulties. The badger.
C.
What is the robot doing in town besides scaring small children?
The robot is going to stay with Profi, whom he has now sworn to protect.
Okay, so the two of you are hanging out with Profi. Profi is on an information mission to see if he can gather anything about what Hexus was doing near this town and if there's any other siblings here. So I'm going to do a couple investigation rolls. With you guys assisting me, I'm going to get advantage. So thanks. I appreciate that. You guys may also roll investigation rolls. You will just not get the advantage. Well, I definitely needed that because that's a crit fail and a 12 plus pluses. So, investigation 4. Okay, so 16 total for my investigation. So I can gather 2 bits of information about what my brother was doing in town. So I find that he moved here about 5 years ago and has been a pretty local, local guest of one of the more seedier taverns in town. You guys, who are in the party that happen to be doing your own thing currently, know that when he recruits people, it's actually from this specific bar in town generally. And he probably hasn't left the town for the last half a decade. as he's been building and crafting and ordering things specifically for his manor just outside of town, which you guys have all been in, and murdered a lot of people. Which also, by the way, I may have forgot to mention it, burned to the ground because you guys caught it on fire. I'm going to say because it was mostly a stone foundation, it was just the top level that was destroyed. But if anyone walks out there at this point, it's just like a collapsed building in the middle of the woods. Just so you know. So, jumping over to technical
with
and
that.
frozen, do you guys search for more information along those lines? Or, while I'm gathering information, what kind of information are you guys looking for?
What
Yeah.
is the check again?
Investigation? Or any other check that you think is appropriate for gathering information. So if you're trying to intimidate information out of people, or lie to people, or perform so people talk to you, or persuade people into giving you some kind of talkie-talkie.
I'm just going to be assisting Profi in whatever his investigation is,
Okay.
but I'll add my intimidation.
Okay, well, so I already
I
added
think
your
I'll add
guys' help.
intimidation as well.
So, Profi got your assistance already. This is, you guys can also search for a
Okay.
piece of information without a additional die, basically.
Okay. Well, what I mean is I'll ask all the same questions Profi is. I'm not. I don't have my own investigation to do here. I'm just furthering his investigation.
Okay, so you're doing an intimidation check to see if you can gather any extra details that they didn't necessarily tell the rich, spoiled kid.
Yes.
Okay.
How does a 23 get me?
You're scary. You're very scary. You're very scary orc. You do the things. So with the 23, you gather an extra couple bits of information. So what you gathered that they didn't want to tell Profi is that Hexus had bought a lot of stuff in town, but didn't do anything with it. So a good bit of the buildings that are decommissioned actually belong to Hexus, or belong to him. Yeah.
I will gladly share this information with Profi.
Okay, so Profi, from that information, will also be like, well, that means the deeds are somewhere. We could probably check City Hall to see if they would transfer them to us, or at least give it to the Imperial Holding. I mean, it might not do us any good, but I'm sure the Royal Capital likes it, owning property. So jumping over
That
to
sounds
technical.
like a.
I'm gonna go ahead and go a different way with my intimidation check then.
Okay.
And I am going to intimidate these folks into not giving any of the information that they gave to you to their sisters.
Okay. So you're being like, if you tell anyone else that looks like this jackass, I'm coming back and crushing your face in. Roll it.
Yes, and that's a 27.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that didn't poop themselves while you talk to them. So, as you intimidate the heck out of all these
He
people,
suddenly calls the gods.
yeah, right, just suddenly just came over. They ain't doing nothing. If they see anyone that looks like Prophet, they're gonna run. Just stay away from him. There's a robot. He's gonna get us. Okay, so that's a pretty successful bit of information. The three of us will be heading to what we assume is City Hall, or at least where the records area is at. Jumping back to Castaway. Castaway, as you enter the inn, just like the outside description.
Yes.
Sorry, so thing on Steam. I will get to you in a second, Twitch. Let me answer this question. So, as you enter the whatchamacallit, the room, there's way less people inside than there was outside. There's a small, what looks to be counter that's attached to a dining room area that isn't excessively big. It looks like the majority of the stuff for this building is just rooms. It is very much a hotel, right? Hotels are the ones with the doors on the inside. think, or is it
Yeah.
the other way? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's very much a hotel. There's again a small dining room area at the very bottom with a kitchen literally attached to it, right behind the front desk. There's a person at the front desk. You talk to them.
But, excuse me.
Yes.
In need of lodging for my friends and I. There's about 5 of us, and we could use a good night's rest.
Uh, they look at you and say, "Okay. How many people? How many rooms?"
5, and I'd say 4 rooms.
There's 6 of us. Okay.
Oh, there's
Cool.
6. I'm sorry, 6 and 5. I'm your bodyguard. That's the thing I'm doing.
Okay. She goes 6. Okay. So it is. All right. Quick world building question. Do you remember what the economic scale is for this world that we're using currently?
Gold a day.
Thank you. So yeah, they say it's a goal. Let's see, 5 silver per night per room. So you're looking at 2.5 gold, or 2 gold, 5 silver per night for lodging here. It comes with food and other things.
Okay. I put 4 gold on the counter. I'm like, if you can have that meal ready in the next 20 minutes, it'd be appreciated. Because I'm assuming I'm still basically bloodied from this, since we haven't taken the time to patch ourselves up.
So sorry. Say that again. I was replying to a message.
I'm gonna say, I put 4 gold on the counter. I'm like, if you can have that food ready in, I don't know, the next 20, 30 minutes, it'd be appreciated. Had a bit of a rough night.
They sweep that into the thing and yell back to someone in the back in Elvish. That's like, hey, they paid extra. Get good food out. I don't know if you speak Elvish. Do you speak Elvish?
I'm checking. Where the heck did I put my languages? No, I picked Draconic and Dwarven because I wanted to feel special.
Okay, so you don't know what she just said, but it's very much Elven. So,
Okay.
as you leave, I'm going to jump over to Younger. Younger, you've teleported inside one of these dilapidated buildings. Can you roll me a 1d6
Yay!
to see what kind
Is
of
it a
building?
fairy home? I want a fairy home.
Well, we'll find out. Roll me a 1d6.
I got a 5.
You got a 5. So it is not a fairy home, but instead a small warehouse. There looks to be old packages strewn about this warehouse. It looked to be connected to some kind of wood crafting area. So maybe this is where they build some of the custom carvings and whatnot for the various houses and whatnot. As I've said before, for this place, it is very Fey inspired. So the houses themselves are made out of trees, so the undergrowth from the wildlands itself isn't necessarily unappreciated. They used it to their advantage. We talked about the mushroom houses and things like that. Again, see the background currently for kind of an idea of what things look like. Because I like it. I think it looks cool. The more we talk about these celestial
I'm in a
squirrels,
warehouse
the more
with
excited I get.
packaging. Does the packaging does the packaging, like, is it like wooden crates or is it like bags?
So
Like, what kind of packaging?
a various sort. It's actually mostly wooden boxes. I wouldn't say there's any like bags of anything. It's really just boxes that have open lids and boxes that have closed lids.
I will attempt to rummage through some of the boxes as to see what their various contents might be.
Sure. I'm not even going to make you roll for this one because it's simple peasy. There's no charm on this. It'll just take you a while. As you go through all the boxes in the warehouse, you find the equivalent of one, woodworkers or wood craftsman. What are they called? I think it's a woodworker's kit. Carpenter's tools. Wow, brain. You find the equivalent of a set of carpenter's tools that you can compile together into one usable carpenter's tools set. You assume no one's going to be upset if you take this.
That will be useful.
Possibly.
I will cobble it together.
You do so.
And look at this. So I assume that since this is a warehouse, that it is not a building of dead bodies.
No, it is not a building of dead bodies.
Well, at least it wasn't a complete waste. It's a one-story building, two-story.
I'm going to say it's a one-story building. It's not super big, which is why you jumped into it thinking it might be an actual house.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make my way back outside, same way I came in.
Okay, you do so. You head back into town. Jumping over to our man at the board.
To find another abandoned building.
Okay. Too easy. We'll get back to you. Abandoned building man is done. It is now the man at the job board.
Mm-hmm.
Ambition. What is thou pleasure?
All right, so I'll take like a few of the like easy jobs. The probably like the one one searching for like a lost wallet or something. Just like stuff that he can like just solve within like a day or two or however long he's here. And then he'll also grab the squirrel one.
Okay, so you pick. Too easy. You picked that off. And how many did you say you pulled off besides that one? Sorry.
So 3 for the too easy, and then the squirrel one for the job board one. I mean, for the party one.
Okay, too easy. So you've gathered those up. They're in your hand. Do you want to do anything else, or are you going to go inside and see what the room's up and go get your food?
I'm going to head
go find your
inside.
friends. Okay, so you head inside.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good. You head inside, and by the time you get in there, the food is halfway done, and you can smell it from the outside. Your handy-dandy paladin informs you that he's already paid for the rooms and the food, so please go eat.
Will do.
So, jumping over to Frozen, technical difficulties and myself, we then arrive shortly later to the Hall O Records, or Town Hall, whatever you want to call it. Now that we are here, what would you guys like to do?
My beat up butt is sleeping it off.
Frozen?
Or did we just count that as a long one?
Right now?
Yes, you are at the Hall of Records. They've let you in. You're basically sitting at a front desk area. Do you want to go and try and find these records yourselves, or are you going to ask for help, or what's the thought here? Or are you going to show Trophy in the front and see if he can figure it out?
I'm sure there's somebody at the desk would probably be able to help us.
That would be a keen choice, decision, whatever you want to call it. Safe bet.
Yeah, I'd like to ask somebody at the front desk, or whoever may be at the front desk.
A small gnomish female sits in front of the desk as you pop over and ask, "Hey, I'm looking for records. Is there any?" Go ahead and talk from there. Ask your questions, and I'll do rolls.
My companions and I are looking for records on several purchased properties that were purchased within the last 5 to 10 years by Hexus.
Oh, okay.
I forget the last name.
Tullius. You definitely wouldn't forget his last name.
No. But myself, I forgot. Not my character, but myself, I forgot the last name.
Gotcha. Yeah, Tullius. Yeah. Name of the emperor.
Yeah, Hexus Tullius.
So as soon as you mention the name, she perks up and says, "Oh, I assume you are one of his lackeys."
Yes.
Okay. Well, give me a couple minutes to pull it up. I have at least a couple not too far away because he needs to sign some of them. So she pulls over a small stack of papers.
Technically not lying.
That's why I didn't make him roll. So she tells you that this is about half of his own properties in town, a little over half, that need to get signed. And there's, let's say, come back here, you. Okay, there's 16 properties here currently. So that's a little over half. There's probably about 30 total that he owns, which is, again, about a third of the town.
I see. And these are all the paperwork.
This is the stuff that isn't sealed away that we need to be taken to the manor for him to sign. Do you need his other stuff as well? I mean, that hasn't been requested before, but it's not like that's out of the works.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna need his seal before I can undo the records from the thing, unless you have something else for me to verify that you work for him. Unfortunately, I can't just be giving away records to anybody. These here I can trust you with because they haven't been signed, and worst comes to worst, we bring them back and redo them.
I'm here, correct?
Yes, you're both there. And Profi, who's kind of just chilling in the corner.
Do I look like I'm not one of his creations?
She looks at you and says, "Creations?" So you would remember that you are a failed experiment. You're probably, a one of a kind. You're built different, So something like you is not like common knowledge that he was experimenting or torturing people. Just so
then can we retcon that? Because I thought that would be common knowledge that I would be walking around the town on this monstrosity that he made.
Yeah, I would say you were probably after your, we'll call it surgery, or conversion into being a warforged, were probably pretty much restricted to there or specialty jobs that he pulled you out for. You probably did not go to town very often.
Okay, too easy. Then I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Okay, you do so. You think about it in your head. Think about it and go, oh, wait, they have no idea. She, after looking at you, as you kind of make a noise as if you were about to say something, looks disgruntled, but not, like, fearful. Like, you're just unpleasant to look at. So, she is waiting for something. So, since the person talking currently is...
Unfortunately, I did not bring his seal with me today, so I will just take these documents that need signing, and I shall return with his seal within the next couple of days.
Profi waves his hand and says, here, take this one. And he hands you his imperial seal. Don't drop that. It's important.
I will, Sorry, I got people coming in the house here.
You're good.
I will present this seal that Profi has handed to me over to this gnomish clerk. Is this satisfactory?
So, as you do so, she looks it over and says, well, this looks official. Yeah, that should work. And she hands it back to you.
Excellent. I will hand it back to Profi quickly. That's a little bit too much responsibility.
You're telling me. He puts it in his back pocket. So, a little bit goes by. We're going to see how many hours it takes her to gather up the information. Hours later, she finally comes back with the rest of the paperwork and apologizes for taking so long. Some of this was buried pretty deep in the records. But you now have all 30 properties on your character. So add that to your character sheet because you're the one carrying it all. Wah ha 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 ha. It might not be important now, but it will be later.
Again, I am sleeping in the inn.
Proceeds to add 30 pounds of paper carry weight.
Oh, it's not that much. They're not. It's not a pound per property. You're talking like maybe a pound total between all of it. So it's 30 pages of paper, or 35 or something silly. Whatever. They're just deeds and whatnot. But add that to your character. 30 deeds in Navi. So, as you guys collect the paperwork and whatnot, your handy-dandy paladin, who was allegedly sleeping in the hallway, finds you, finally, because he was probably actually looking for you to tell you he bought a room so you guys don't go buy your own. He has told you that you have bought a room, and there's food, and you need to hurry up before the food gets cold, because it's been a couple hours. I assume you do so. I know Profi does. Okay. So.
Yes, I go into my sleep mode thing.
Okay, do you consume food? Do you want to consume food? I don't think you have to, but do you want to?
I do not.
Okay. Jumping over to the mummy. Mummy, you were also ran into by the handy-dandy paladin at some point. Do you return to go relax with everyone else, or do you continue your sulking through the town?
Oh, I was going to actually sulk through the town a little bit.
Okay, so you do so, but you are informed that you do
Is
have
there
a room at the end, and there's allegedly food for you. Not that I think you need it either, but you know, whatever.
I do not eat.
All right, that third of our party is non-eaters. Noted. So, I'm going to jump to you as you're sulking through the town. So you're trying to find a undead house. And you are smart enough to know that the undead houses are probably the mushroom houses. So you then hit up a mushroom house. You find an abandoned one that is slightly overgrown with various overgrowth. I know that's super descriptive, but I'll let your minds imagine what you must. You go inside, you stay outside. I don't know what you're trying to do with this house, so...
Oh, absolutely going inside. I absolutely go inside.
There is a door that you can see if it's locked / try to lockpick open.
I will attempt to open with my hand.
You do so. Your little hand
like
with
door.
the fingers. It's locked. It might even be barred from the outside. I'm gonna say. Let me roll.
It's locked.
Is it barred? There's a strapping piece of rotten wood across the front door. Would not necessarily be hard to break off.
Wow, that's super convenient. I take my new crowbar and I break it off. Top.
You do so. It comes off easily. The door
I walk
is now open. Yeah, you walk inside. You are inside the domicile. The furniture and fixings and things like that are actually grown out of the mold, or at least the ones that would be permanent, such as tables and desks and things like that along the wall. The chairs and whatnot look to be old and pretty much non-existent. You know, there might be chair legs or broken things. There doesn't look to be a lot in this house. So what do you do?
Okay, so it doesn't have a lot of contents. Would my history check have revealed the typical locations as to where a dead creature's body might be, like underneath one of the tables, one of the sofas, underneath a specific window, the corner of the house?
So you would know that if dead bodies were used to build this house, they would be part of the foundation itself. So they're in the floors.
Okay. Since it's mushroom, it won't make an extreme amount of noise. for me to dig through mushroom with carpenter's tools or dagger.
Whichever you wish. I mean, it is hard mushroom. I don't know if you've ever seen mushroom leather before, but it can get relatively hard. So this will take you some time. Is it what you're doing for the rest of the night?
Yeah, until I find all the bodies I can.
Okay. So again, I will tell you that they have probably none left. They've all decomposed and have been fueled to build the house itself. I will let you roll though, or I will roll.
Oh, even the bones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you ever seen trees like eat through bones to get their calcium and whatnot? It's crazy. I'm gonna roll a percentile check to
I don't
see
know
if
how long it takes for fairy bones to decompose. It could be 12,000 years.
Could be. Or it could be instantaneous. Who knows? Alright. Yeah. So, there's no bones left. At least on this house. And again, unless the house
Would I have known that, or would I have wasted my time?
You definitely would have wasted your time. Because there is a possibility of them being there. You don't know how old the house is. Again, like you said, how long do fairy bones last in a building? You have no idea. They could get destroyed as soon as the house is finished, or it could be some time. You're not a mushroom architect by any means. So, it was worth looking for. And you find spots that you think there might have been remains in, but they have long since turned into nourishment. But
I see.
That takes your time. We're going to cutscene to everyone else. So, at this point, the rest of the group has eaten their food or been informed of the possible jobs that our handy-dandy detective has told us about. The interesting one being the celestial squirrels in the nuts and fruits orchards just outside of town. You guys will know, as just general basic knowledge, celestial creatures are generally lawful good, or at worst lawful neutral. For them to be going around and destroying and or, we're going to use the word locusting, the food in that area seems a little ridiculous. So either something blessed squirrels with celestial power and they developed into dire squirrels, or there's something fishy going on, and this nature of celestialness is, we'll say, a tad different. But you're not sure which. It could be either. None of you are angel experts, so what you know is what you know.
My character's asleep.
Your character's asleep. Yeah, after telling us all the information, you just passed out. I got you. So, with that, what up? What up?
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I thought it was like me. I'll let you go. So sorry.
My character will consider the jobs, but he really just wants to eat and go rest for now.
Yes. Sorry, I should probably fast forward this. The information was given to you, and you guys will all take a long rest and get your sleep and various 6 to 8 hours of necessary sleepy sleep to get your hit points back. They're back to full, baby. With that, I already gave you guys your experience from last time. Yes, we talked about that. It's in the chat.
Yes, you
somewhere.
did.
Okay.
Yep.
What's our number at now? Just out of curiosity, because I want to make sure my stuff's up to date.
26310.
Okay, perfect. Excuse me, sorry. So we need to get a bad experience. These squirrels better be rude. Also, to the people watching our Twitch, I think they totally could know they're celestial or assume they're celestial from the radiant light that is shooting off of them. The description of these squirrels, by the way, for the rest of you, is they look like silverback or gray squirrels, right? But they are double or triple the size of a normal squirrel. So they're all the size of small dogs. Or medium dogs? We'll say medium dogs. They're big squirrels. Their tail is as long as the rest of their body, all floofy and whatnot, and they seem to shimmer a silvery light that reminded them of miracles they'd seen as a child. Um, Also, well, nope. We'll save the rest of that information for if you guys do some more searching. So,
It's a good size for roasting.
but with that, you guys, that's a quest you guys could do relatively easy. There's still plenty of other things to do in Navi. Obviously, there's shopping and things like that. But the nearest quest is the Celestial Squirrels. So, what would you guys, as a group, like to do? Castaway, you can no longer sleep. You've slept enough. He says, dang it.
So a long rest has been completed, correct?
A long rest has been completed, correct.
Okay. Give me a minute to redo character sheet things.
Oh,
Yeah, let me see if I want to change out anything in my
I mean,
profile.
I don't think the Celestials would like my presence very much.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be too fond of me.
So, just as a reminder, there are many gods, and all a celestial means is they are connected to a god instead of a devil.
If they are basked in the holy light, I don't think they will
Holy
like me
light.
very much.
What?
Hold on.
You're
That
a dark
being said, Celestial
right?
can apply to evil gods as well as
Yes,
good aligned gods.
correct.
All it means is that they are connected to the divine
Yes.
rather than the devils.
Yes. So,
Yes.
you don't necessarily don't like you.
I'm just saying that I'm vulnerable to radiant damage.
That'll hurt then. This is gonna be a real bad encounter for you.
Choosing to do this encounter at your own risk.
Just know, Mummy Man, you might not make it home. So, I assume you guys want to do this encounter. Again, there's plenty of other options. We can spend more time in town. I'm not trying to push you towards this. This is just something fun to do if you guys want to do it. Or we can skip it entirely and you guys can continue on to your quest to the next part of the town. If you guys remember, our original reasons for going deeper into the wildlands was to do some creature hunting, basically, and level ourselves up and make ourselves stronger and so on and so forth. But the whole reason for that was for our now dead Cavalier friend. Sorry, not Cavalier. Our, oh man, totally just goofed up on our
You're going to be
chauffeur.
going to bed here soon, kiddo.
Our chauffeur friend. And since they are out of the picture, that's not necessarily a need. The other reason we were in the wildlands was Profi was looking for siblings over here. There's only a couple that he knows of that live over here. Or assumes are over here because they aren't anywhere else. One of them was Hexus. So you guys have found one of the people in this continent.
Just FYI, I'm currently hiding in the lunge because everyone else in the barracks is asleep, including their roommate. So if we do the squirrel thing, I could stick around for that, but I'm probably going to have to call it after like the next 20 minutes.
Okay. Do you want us to keep your character, or does your character want to stick in town where he is quote-unquote doing something else?
If you have my character sheets, right?
I mean, I could probably pull it up, but
You should have the link. You should have the link to it, but
most of the time I'm just guessing here.
Okay. But what my character was going to do is use the ritual spell Find Speed and conjure his, basically it's like a starry night warhorse with a military saddle on it. And he shall be riding his like pitch black with like starlit horse about wherever we are going. Cause I got a lance, boy.
The boy. I mean, that's too easy. running you around with a lance, stabbing people in the face.
Yeah.
I can run that.
Yeah.
It's a D20 plus 5. Ah, here we go. Oh, it's dead. Or he missed terribly. Your horse got 8. Good thing it's a fake horse.
Yeah.
Well, Fulgash is definitely intrigued by this celestial dire squirrel situation and would very much like to go and check it out.
Okay. I assume the rest of you are okay with it?
How much
Oh,
money are they
absolutely.
paying for
I'm ready
this?
for a fight.
He says, give me the combat. I need the
Yep.
wombat.
Hopefully, a bunch of celestial squirrel hides.
Ooh, yeah, big money there. I think you might have more luck getting
How
the,
much money for
critical-
taking care of the squirrel problem itself?
Ah, good question. So, the job itself is paying for the hides directly. And if you happen to exterminate the horde, it's giving you a full price. So, you're getting, what was it? I'm going to say 10 gold per squirrel. And if you take out the entire horde, you're going to be given 1,000 gold.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yep, yes it is. Oh,
That
hey,
makes me want to kill them.
all right. Hey, look, this isn't quite a.
But if they're offering 1,000, how many squirrels is that? Like 100 squirrels?
It's a horde, so if they're offering 10 per hide, do some math here.
There's at least 100 of these squirrels.
Well, so
Yeah.
to clarify,
So
the
somebody
horde
needs
has to
to
go
cast
away.
Fireball.
There's probably other restrictions on it though, because you are in orchard, so the less amount of damage you can do to the orchard, the better.
So no
It's my
fireballs.
time to shine.
Exactly.
Whack a squirrel.
Alright, we're gonna use this one, and then actually, we'll use these two. That'll be fun. 2. Sorry, I'm counting tokens. Don't mind me.
Where's
2, 4, 6. Oh, hey! Don't drop all my carrots. That would be upsetting.
I'm gonna go get a drink real quick if that's okay.
Yeah, you got time. You got time. I'm in the
Alright,
middle
thanks.
of setup. Ugh.
Not at all.
All right, so I'm gonna take my DM hat off because I'm moving the camera, which means I have to do like 4 other things. Okay,
Probably
hey,
want to
look-
take the background off, otherwise we're not going to be able to see the map.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Can only do so many things. I'm sorry. Change. Hey, look
I
at
didn't mean to rush you.
that. I'm working on it. Life's so hard as the DM. Alright, how's that look? I know there's a giant sunspot, but I'm actually going to leave that in for theme. One, 2, 3, it's 5. Wow, apparently I can't count. I thought I had enough. Perfect. Okay. So, I'm also going to pull out some of my new fancy models because I promised people I would do that. Every session there'd be one new fancy model. And by people,
Fancy model.
You can finally use your squirrel model.
Actually, there's one that's pretty close to what I want for how big these things are supposed to be. There's also a jackalope. I could throw a jackalope model out there. Or, but I think this armored badger is going to work just fine.
Armored badgers. Yeah.
Oh, or there's an armored dog. Okay, I have my 3 important giant squirrels, and then all my sub-giant squirrels, and then my true villains. me. It was you guys. You guys are the true villains, just so you know. So to answer your question, I think that's the right name for it. Yeah, Makadal, which we as a group, specifically younger and technical difficulties, have made and used in this campaign. So there is a precedent for them being on Jake, but not currently. So you guys enter the orchard. I think this is a pretty good orchardy looking thing. So I will clarify that this is an orchard, so all this green stuff actually will not stop you. But if your character is on top of it or overlaying some of this green stuff, you will have cover because there's a tree there. So, because of this, the way it is currently, you guys are in the fruit orchards because they're actual trees. When we go to the nut orchards, they will have more trees, but you will not be able to run through them, and you'll actually have to follow the dirt. This are fruit trees, though. They're a little bit higher. You can kind of work your way around them with ease. So, I'm going to need a D4 from someone to tell me how long you guys spend looking before something occurs. As it is a large orchard and not necessarily an instantaneous, oh, there's things happening. Also, would you guys like to be spread out or in a group?
I rolled a 3.
3 hours. Wow. Okay, so you guys look for quite some time before anything occurs. Move my mouse out the way here. Throw it back underneath. So, that being the question, do you guys want to be in a group or spread out? Because these are you guys, and then I will add enemies as necessary.
I am going to be separate from the rest of the group.
I'll probably stick with
because I will cause problems.
I'm moving ahead of the group.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach down and pick up our little man and just put him on the horse and be like, "You're not getting yourself killed."
Okay, I'm gonna put you guys in the corner then, and put.
No, I just mean
by
I'll
himself.
attempt to be in the away from the trees.
So you're not with the group. You're off.
I would.
Look over there.
Say it again. Sorry.
So,
Yep.
younger.
A little bit away from the group.
Okay, so you're over there. The robot has come to a small clearing. And sitting on said small clearing, hey, I need a different model, actually. This will be like the one of the few times I actually use it for what it's supposed to be. If I can find it real quick. Just give me a couple seconds here, guys. Sorry. Apparently it's buried in my giant model box. How did I find it? All the tape. This poor model has been through a lot, but I'm just going to set this over here out the way. So people watching Twitch, I will not be able to answer in a little bit, because I will be using my phone for stats. So I will come back to you, Twitch, I swear, but I will need a small amount of time to get stats and things. And probably switch back and forth. That's not the app I need. Monster Manual app, there it is. Okay. Wow, these are going to have a lot of health. Okay! Good luck, boys. So, sitting in a small alcove is one of these squirrels. You can tell by the shiny radiance that this one has a small star of woven light. Sorry, a small crown of woven light around its head. And it seems to be sitting on a celestial type chair made of light as well. It looks at you with unfathomable intelligence as you approach it, dear robot.
May I assume that you can understand me?
It nods.
I say in Sylvan.
It nods.
You should probably leave here. You're causing quite a disturbance with your friends.
It cocks its head sideways.
You and the other squirrels are causing a disturbance. We have been hired to kill you if necessary, but we're offering you a chance to leave.
It opens its mouth and a large chorus of words shoot out into you. Do you speak Celestial? Is Celestial language?
I speak Fey, Common, Sylvan, and Dwarven.
That's a real question. Celestial language, indeed. Is it a language that we've used before? Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes, it's its own language. Okay, so I'm not crazy. So if you don't speak Celestial, you have no idea what this thing is saying back to you. All you know is that it seems annoyed by the suggestion that it should leave this orchard.
So I don't understand what you just said.
The vibe check is not
but what it doesn't seem like you're picking up what I'm putting down. You at least you will die. Like you're next to me. But some of your friends will probably die too. If you do not leave this place. Like whether you're causing a disturbance or not at this point, like that was kind of annoying. Can I do an intimidate check?
You can! I would tell you it is a high likelihood of failure. There's no way. Months on a Brussels sprout.
Okay. 18 plus 8.
18 plus 8. Okay. Yeah. That's still a failure, unfortunately, but it was intimidating. It cocks its head again, and another screech pierces the forest, and all party members can hear this quite clearly. And you hear a rustling and lights blurring, and all kinds of silliness occurs. And from this dark spot on the map, it is actually a light spot, hordes of squirrels appear.
Does me charging in on a horse with 13 hit?
So.
Or would I get advantage for surprise, motherfucker?
No, because you can't see them currently. They're far away. You can be on your horse, but
I mean,
I'm listening. Castaway. Okay, I don't know what he was trying to wait for, but did not occur. Anyway, beams of light swirl, sparkle, swish from all over the place, and DM goes, tokens. Put some over here. There's a large group of them near you. So, each one of these tokens is a representation of several of these large squirrels. So you're looking at about... Each one of these tokens is a swarm amongst itself that contains anywhere from 3 to 5 squirrels.
okay.
So,
Sounds good.
just so you guys know what you're looking at, and it is a swarm. So, prepare yourselves.
Good time for me to not know what.
As a side question, how much magical weapons do you guys have?
I mean,
I
I have
have
smite, so
one.
anything I touch.
Actually, kiddo, you need to go brush your teeth and get your PJs
So the
on.
warlock has magic. The wizard has magic.
Oh,
Uh
I have 2 magic swords.
oh, okay. That
If
would.
these are
I
those
have
stupid little
magic
things that
eventually.
shoot
But do you have it currently?
the swords, yeah.
It's
No.
coming.
Oh right,
Oh.
barbarian rage silliness. Gotcha. Okay, so full gas. You're the last one. Do you have magic of some sort?
I do not.
This is gonna be real bad for you then. So, as these squirrels go, they're all gonna go on the same initiative because they're basically a giant horde. And then Profi's gonna go, and then the important squirrel will also go. And again, if you'll see other important squirrels, they will be actual miniatures, and they'll be very easily distinguished. Okay, so Profi has gone on 18
Initiatives.
plus pluses. So give me a second. How many is that? I think it's plus 3. No, plus 2. So I go on an actual 20, or dirty 20, whatever. And the celestial squirrels will go on 12. And then the big bad important squirrel will go on 15. I need to fix that.
Doge rolled a 17.
Oh, 17, he says.
14 plus 2 is 16 for fodder.
Cannon fodder. Says,
You got a 4.
I'll rotate my screen a little bit so I can actually roll on it without it being a pain in the butt. I forgot I needed to do that earlier, but whatever. Now it'll roll easy. Oh, excuse me. Okay, everyone got their numbers?
Arzex goes on 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 4. So
Okay, you in the back. That's okay.
yep.
That is okay. So, I will, as a DM, remind you that you don't have to win a fight. Sometimes it is better to run away and live another day. Not that you have to. I'm just saying, you just keep that in mind. So, who's first? Younger, I believe you are the one keeping track.
Sorry, Discord keeps crashing.
I was not.
Was it you, Bach? Were you keeping track first?
I don't know what you're in.
Sean was keeping track last game. I don't know if he's doing it again this game.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm sorry, guys.
Y'all just read off our initiative, assuming someone would track it. DM cannot track these initiatives. You guys gotta get on it. Who's doing it today?
Well, I can do it. What was I
I
just
can
hit
do
a
it, I
second.
guess, but
John said
The
go.
celestial squirrels were 12.
Celestial
The
Scrolls
big
were
bad squirrel.
was a 15.
No,
Profi,
big bad squirrel was 15.
and then Profi was a 20. And then I honestly didn't hit it.
My-
I'm sorry.
My character Boge is a 17. Fodder was a 16. And I don't know what the other 3 were.
Mine was a 4.
Arzex was a 16.
And full gash is a 13. And what?
So, who's starting? Mr. Wizard? We know you rounding
are.
it up. I am. All right, cool. So Profi goes, squirrels! Charge! Because I'm an idiot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through the ferns in the open, and I just find the first pile of squirrels and start stabbing. I'm not an assassin, so I don't get any cool assassination stuff, which is super unfortunate, and I really need to remember that. So this is just a regular swing with no nothing. So stabby stab. That's not terrible. 17 hits. With my rapier, as I plunge into the first squirrel, it does nothing. My sword bends. Doesn't break, but it bends and kind of just like I just stabbed a stone wall and I go, oh no. Okay. Psychic blade, stab! And I make a psychic blade stab as well. 16 plus pluses also hits, and that one will actually do damage because psychic blade. And psychic blade does how much damage? 1d6. Le stab. Wow, with all their other resistances, that was trash to your damage. My 5 got turned into not a 5. But, no. Yeah. That's my attack. You see the look on Profi's face, and he goes, oh no, I done goofed. You can see that from a distance. He is very concerned looking.
Is there a chance that the rest of us might have seen what happened to his blade?
Oh yeah, you definitely just saw that. I'm not that far away from the rest of you guys.
Okay. Well, as you were doing this,
it might have been partly obscured, but you definitely saw it.
Okay, well, as you're doing this, I am galloping in at full speed with my lance. 20 hits, big bad squirrel man.
Oh, so you're going for the big bad, who's way over here. What's your horse's speed?
Yep. I think it's 50. It's a horse. Again, I'd have to check. It's some.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 30. 35, 40, 45, 50. So it takes your full gallop to get to within range of this Catman. So, assuming that you have 50. You sure you have 50?
Yes.
Okay.
I looked it up D&D Beyond.
You fool?
Okay, but
isn't it a... Yeah, likely. Should be...
So...
be 60, actually, because it's supposed to be the equivalent of a warhorse, right?
It's a conjured warhorse.
Yeah. So then it's 50 or 60. You're good. Anyway, okay. Yeah, you can make it just barely. You make an attack against the special looking one. Roll to hit.
With a lance.
With the lance.
As I just assumed, it's 20 to hit.
20 to hit with the lance. Is your lance magical?
No, but smite.
Okay, would you like to...
I hit with Air Force smite. Yes.
Okay, do so.
So, smite at second level, so 3d8. 14 damage.
Okay, and then lance damage?
Well, it would be a d12.
So remember, when you activate your magic on your weapons, right?
Okay.
They are equivalency of magical weapons, so they also have their resistance.
One damage.
Woohoo! Total of 15?
So, yep. And so that's my first attack. And so as I plunge the lance into glancing, however it goes, I then use that momentum to carry myself off the horse, coming around with my other hand with a short sword. Well, actually my long sword, because you could one-hand that, which it is silvered, but smite, so it doesn't really matter.
So silvered is not going to help you in this situation, but okay.
Oh, I missed terribly. That is an 8.
Okay, an 8 definitely misses. So you hit it with the lance and hit it with the smite, and you're like, gotcha! And then you come around. Are you still on the horse, or did you fly off the horse when you hit him with the lance? Just for narrative effect.
I mean, is he up high enough to where I could hit him with a sword?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then yeah, I'll stay on.
Okay. Yeah, so you just stabbed him with the lance, got close enough. Because again, the lance actually probably hit here, and then you just had to finish moving forward and then make the attack.
Right.
So anyway, you stabbed him with the lance, choppity chop. With the choppity chop, you missed terribly. It doesn't do anything special for missing, but you know that lance hit and did damage, but it definitely wasn't as strong as you thought it would be.
Right.
Alright, let's see.
Oh wait.
Alright. So for those of you that were talking on Twitch, so I can hear you again. Anything
I'm
else?
gonna use bonus action spell Shield of Fate on Profi since he is a squishy boy, so +2 to your AC.
Woohoo! I need that, and I appreciate you. My AC is now 15, baby. Okay, you do so.
And that's
All right, who's next?
I believe it's Frozen, if I remember right?
All right, full gas.
I think, sorry. Because I think Prof was 18, Castaway 16, right?
I was.
no 17.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
I'm
16.
16.
Okay, you're 16. Gotcha.
So it's the robot's turn then. Before Frozen.
As am I.
Because I'm 16 as well.
Do we have 3 people on 16? All right, who wants to go first of the 3 of you then?
I'll go.
Okay, robot. You're right next to the enemy, and you just saw it take a lance to the face and kind of shuck it off.
Yeah. So I have to attack before I can rage, correct?
No, you can rage immediately. It just takes your bonus action.
I can rage immediately. Okay, then I'm raging immediately as my bonus action and rolling my wild magic or wild surge.
Wild surge.
And we have an 8. A bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that can see you within 30 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage and be blinded until the start of your next turn. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action.
That's nice. That's like a guaranteed continue your rage spell. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to try and blind Mr. Floofy in front of me here real quick.
Okay. So, as you do so, he makes a, you said Constitution?
Constitution, and that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I doubt it matters.
14.
He rolled a 3 plus his pluses is a whopping, 6.
Okay, so he is going to take 6 damage from that and is blinded until the start of my next turn.
You do so. You believe him to be blind.
And he's going to take dose great axes to face.
Okay.
One a great axe twice, but
Okay, I gotcha. Roll to hit.
18 plus pluses and 17 plus pluses. This
Okay.
die is doing great tonight, y'all.
So, the question now is, do your weapons gain the magic property when you rage?
They do not,
Okay.
unless I roll a 4.
Okay. No. That's important to know. So, as you make your swing, you connect solidly. He is unfazed. You take another swing, connect solidly. Nothing happens.
Okay. Then that's all I can do. I got nothing else I can do.
Okay.
Could I use a reaction here? It's kind of like a free action to throw something to him since he's right next to me.
Not till it's your turn again.
Okay.
But yes, on your turn you can use your free action because he's close enough to hand him something. If you have to throw it, it takes a bonus action.
Okay.
Okay. Who's next? Next.
The next. Oh, sorry.
All right, Younger. They're way over here. There's 2 squirrels kind of close to you, though.
Okay, so I'm where?
You're way over here. You probably can't see it because you're on your phone, I assume.
Okay. Well, I cannot see it at all.
Just, you're over here. I'm going to point
Just
directly across
I have
from
to
my
find the
hand.
right spell. Okay. So, whichever area on the ground has the most squirrels with no allies within a 20-foot square, I'm going to cast a spell on them.
What's the range of the spell? Now, their allies or our allies?
20-foot square, hit as many of the bad guys, as many of the bad squirrels
Okay. So, their allies don't matter.
as physically possible.
I would put that right here, because that'll hit 6 of them, including Big Bad, and not hit our allies. Barely.
Okay, I cast Everard's Black Tentacles. They all need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, Big Bad's roll. 16 versus your save for the Big Bad, and then the other ones. One save, probably. One fail, probably.
So
probably. Fail.
the Big Bad actually barely made it because 16 is my save.
Okay, so that means, including the Big Bad, 3 of them save and 3 of them fail.
Dane, okay. So 3 of them are restrained and take 3d6 bludgeoning damage. So 3d6 is 5 plus 4 plus 3, 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
12 points of magical bludgeoning damage. That's actually really important because A, it's an AoE attack, and B, it's bludgeoning damage, and C, it's magical. So how much damage total? Sorry, one more time. 12. Yeah, so as you just the tentacles pop up and just start smashing these squirrels, they do not look happy. You done goofed a group of them up. They're not dead by any means, but that was a lot.
They are also restrained. I will then use my bonus action to magically teleport next to not next to anybody, about 30 feet away from the nearest squirrel.
So you are assuming there is darkness.
Yeah. Underneath a tree of some sort. Somewhere.
Okay, so I'm going to implement a rule for you really quick. These squirrels emanate a 10-foot radius of light. Also, on the map, there are actual lit posts. I don't know if you can see them very well, but they're kind of just brighter on the map. So I'm going to allow you to have dim spots that have some sort of shadow. You said within 30 feet, not next to a squirrel? Because obviously you can't teleport next to squirrels.
Yep.
Okay, so I can put you here. Whoop. Can you see yourself at least?
I can see the edge of me.
Okay, you're there.
Thanks. And that is my turn.
Okay. Good job.
Now, whenever the squirrels start their turn, they have to re-attempt that save.
Oh, okay, that's important. Okay, next on our list, I believe, is Frozen. Mr. Fullgas over here in the corner.
Yep.
So you're going to charge up on Profi, or are you doing something else? What's the thought here?
Well, he has just witnessed several people have a difficult time making attacks, or rather dealing damage. Has has also seen that the only things that seem to do damage are magics, and realizes that he has nothing.
You are a smart enough character to probably piece 2 and 2 together.
I have a 15 intelligence.
So, with that information, what is the thought?
The thought is that he's going to suggest making a tactical retreat and changing the way we approach this.
Okay. So you are going to yell out to the crowd, "We should probably get out of here. I don't think we're ready for it," right? Something along those lines?
Yes.
Go ahead and say it. What do you say to the group? This is a good roleplay moment. What are you doing?
There's my anxiety kicking in.
Sorry.
So yeah, I'm gonna yell out. I think we need to get the hell out of here because I don't think we're ready at all for this. We are underprepared.
Okay. That is a fair assessment. While you make this yelling, cry, and call, why don't you also roll a persuasion check for your friends?
Oh, come on, D20, don't fail me now.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, shit. 13.
Okay, so I need everyone to take a look at their insight and look at their passive insight. If their passive insight is greater than 13, you guys will know that this man, who is a relatively talented and intelligent warrior, is one step from pooping his pants. He is very afraid and very unprepared, and you can tell from the sound of his voice. For those of you that have a lower...
Too bad I have a +0 to insight.
For those of us that have a +0 to insight, and our passive insight is lower than that, you just hear what he says, and you can roll accordingly to believe.
I like the number 10.
Okay. For those of us under 10, I would suggest rolling a d12 to see how your character feels about what was just said. For those of you above a 15 passive, you can decide freely on your own how they feel. But I would suggest listening to the fighter. It would make sense in character for you guys to be like, yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna stick around whatever Profi does. If Profi retreats, I'm gonna retreat, but I'm gonna keep beating up on this mean squirrel until he does.
Profi is high tier demoralized currently. His sword is bent and he is very upset.
Yeah, I'll agree with the fighter and probably hightail it out of there as well.
Okay, who's next on our initiative? Because now you guys have to run away from the hordes of squirrels.
I think the squirrels are next.
Why are you running away?
Huh?
Why are we running away?
Because half of us do not have any kind of weapons that can fight these things off.
Well, if you're waiting, I can assist with that.
I missed half of that. What did you say?
I didn't hear what he said.
I said, if you wait, I can assist with that.
Ah, well, that might be something to shout on your turn. But it is the squirrel's turn, so. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Okay, well, all of the squirrels that are already grappled just take damage, and the other ones have to make saves again.
Okay, so 3 of them will take damage. And do they get to save at the end of their turn? Or is it just auto?
It says a creature is restrained until they get out.
Okay, so everyone's making
So
a
they
save.
take, since they're restrained at the beginning of their turn. Yeah.
Okay, so the other ones have to fail their save.
3 of them take damage as soon as it starts.
Yep, so roll your damage, and then I will roll for the 3 that didn't take damage and see if they get grabbed. Because they're starting the turn in the thing. See, it feels like
4, 4, and a 2, so 10 points of damage.
Alright, 10 more points of damage to these
10
squirrels.
points of magical bludgeoning tentacle damage.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. These guys, on the other hand, let's see if they get grabbed. So, a big bad, yes, he fails terribly. One of them magically gets a 20 and will magically escape, and the other one fails normally. So, both this guy and this guy get grabbed by the tentacles and take 10 damage this round. This guy, on the other hand, whoops into a freaky bit of light and flies 30 feet in a direction. Let's roll d10. What direction is he going? Direction number 3. 1, 2, 3. Whee! He is now out of your tentacly grasp. I'm sorry. He said F that noise. Okay,
it's also difficult terrain, if that matters.
Not for the critical 20. But for the rest of these guys, the other 3 see if they can escape and then move. So I'm going to roll for them. The 2 that failed obviously are stuck where they're at. Because they are in tentacles. Alright, first one fail, second one fail, third one fail. Alright, all 3 of them. They're stuck. They can't do nothing. Alright, jumping over the rest of the squirrels.
10 points of damage.
This one can run this way, and he will, because he still has technical movement. Actually, you know what? I'm going to not give him movement because he got yeeted. These guys, on the other hand, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't move. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm gonna square 5, 6. So I can't get to nobody. And odd even on this one. I'm gonna take. Oh, hey, find that dice in the round. I'm taking odd, and it is an even, so it's going after our paladin friend. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So, Profi has 4 attackers around him. Our handy-dandy skeleton, who is now engulfed in radiant light, has 2 attackers on him. And our handy-dandy paladin has 3 yahoos on him. The other guys aren't doing anything. And the big bad has his own stuff, so we're not going to worry about that. Okay, hold up. You know what? I'm gonna use Twitch as a cooperation here because that's kind of cool. So you guys will notice now that these things are a little closer that the glowing bits aren't necessarily coming off of their hide, right? It's actually coming out of their eyes and mouths. So there's kind of blinking and flashing as they chitter and chatter. Again, if anyone understands Celestial, then cool beans. If not, well, we'll see.
So I understand Infernal. Would that help out at all, or not really?
No, so you would speak like, what was Infernal? We have corresponding languages
Devil.
for stuff. I know it's Devil, but I meant for IRL languages.
Latin?
No. That's Sylvan. Sylvan is Latin.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, I'm trying to... You speak like Greek. I'm going to say Greek just because why not?
Interesting. I like that.
And Celestials like... Japanese. We'll go Japanese. That sounds like a completely different language.
Makes sense. I like it.
Guys, I'm gonna have to hop off here.
Okay. Well, I will roll for your retreat after I beat you up.
Alright, have a good night now.
At 19 AC, take as many out as I can before I force to leave.
Okay, I will do.
I've got 7 more slots.
1 hit, 2 hit, 1 miss. All right, so you get hit twice by the squirrels. So just 3d6 per. So your first whack does trash tier damage. Only 7. No, sorry. There's 8. You do take 8 damage from the first swack, and second swack.
What type of damage?
It is radiant slashing.
Okay.
All 3s, wow. And the next one is 12. So you take a total of 20 damage this round.
Dang, these squirrels hurt.
Yes, they are a serious CR.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hop off here, guys.
Generally, a rat swarm is only a quarter CR. These guys are rats on
5.
super crack.
Right.
Oh boy.
Good night, man.
So, those are those. I have 4 attacks on me, and I have way worse AC than he does. So let's see how this goes. Profi might get down in one good round. Thank you for the +2. I'm gonna need it. Okay, well that's actually not so bad. 1 hit, 2 hits. Okay, I'll take 50% dodges. Hacha first swack does 1Zs and 2Zs. I'll take that. That's I ain't complaining at all. That's 6 points of damage. Second shot. That's much worse. That's 1 point from max damage. So that makes it 20 by itself. So I'm going to use my reaction to have that one with my rogue ability. So instead of taking full damage, I will take half damage on the 20. So I'm taking 10 plus the 6. I'm only taking 16 damage this round. Woo! Gotta love the good abilities. I need a pencil, not a pen. There we go. Okay, so as I update my health, the last person they attack is the mummy. Mummy! This is radiant damage. What does that do for you?
It's not good, so can you tell me how well they hit me first?
Well, I gotta see if they hit you first. What's your AC?
14.
I mean, to be fair, they only got like a +5 to hit. Their 2 hit isn't terrible. All right. So 1 hit, 1 miss. So you take a whopping 12 points of damage, and it is radiant damage.
So I take 24 points of damage.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to run. If you get surrounded,
That's
you're
like
done.
almost half my HP.
You need to run. You need to get out of here. Alright, I'm down to 39. There we go. Okay. I mean, heck, the 2 hits that I took, and I went like half, a little above half. The Florida man of squirrels with you. Ye old English. No, we're not doing ye old English. Okay, so after the squirrels is who? Should be the big bad squirrel somewhere in there. He probably should have went before the regular squirrels.
Oh, sorry. I guess I thought like all the squirrels were like.
No, Big Bad has his own initiative. He's on like 15 or something silly.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So he was right after everyone else then.
Okay, so he has 2 targets. One that hit him for some and one that hit him for another. He's going to hit... Spain, you want odd or even? He's gone.
I think he actually got disconnected.
Oh, his computer restarted. He'll be back. So, I guess I'm playing for both of them currently. Odd. Going for the person who's already left. Oh, he sent me his stats. He's so nice. 12 plus pluses will hit our big bad paladin. As a torrent of those stars on his crown fly off and attack him as little blades in the dark. They are considerably larger than the claws that the previous yada yada had. So we're rolling d12s instead of d6s. Alright, 5, 6 plus pluses, so he takes 16 points of damage as several of these spikes fly into him. So, pew 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 pew. That's we went to the squirrel. So back to the top of the order, which is Profi. And Profi says, F this noise, I'm disengaging. As a bonus action, and he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back to here. And then I'm going to use my action to dash. And I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off the map. Running for my life. Oh, excuse me, sorry. That's Profi's turn. Profi is out of here. You guys said run. He's taken that opportunity. Who is next?
I believe it's. Oh, Castaway was next.
Okay, so Castaway said he's going to make attacks and then run. So he's going to take a swing at some of these squirrels so he doesn't get 26 opportunity attacks. He's going to take his attack action, so he gets to make 2 attacks. He's going to make him against the squirrels and hope that his Divine Smite hits. So first squirrel misses terribly. Second squirrel he hits, so it's actually just first squirrel. Activating Divine Smite at second level, which is at 3d6, plus his d8 for using a longsword. Not terrible rolls, so that's 10, 7, and then I think he has a plus 4 for his damage. So 21 points of damage to said squirrels. Of the squirrel pile, there's a couple that get murdered by his vicious blade, but the swarm is still a swarm. He then says, "Okay, I'm out of here." 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can get all the way over here because he did last time, because he has a speed of 50. But he does take 4 opportunity attacks. So, 1 hit, 1 miss. Definite hit, definite hit. Whoa. 3 attacks hit from the regular, I take that back. 2 attacks hit from the regular squirrels, and he gets a hit by another beaming of light. So beaming of light is first. 21 more points of damage. And then his normal attacks. I don't know how he's gonna live through this actually. I don't know how much health he has, but it can't be that much. Let's do some math. There's 10, 20, 22 plus 6, 28 more points of damage as he is escaping. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say his horse carries him off the battlefield because he's definitely below 0. Because we're only level 7s. And he's there-ish, so if they catch up to him, he's probably dead. I'll make rolls for him on his turn. Next! Actually, while we are waiting, because I think it's Spain coming back, I gotta use the restroom really quick. Plan your escapes!
I know my escape. I'm going to cast haste on myself.
I think I'm the only one without any things around me, so I'm just going to take a dash action.
Yeah, I'll probably dash on my turn.
Interesting, though, how he highlighted the fact that the radiant light wasn't coming from their hide, but it was coming from their eyes and mouth. Almost as though as they were being
their
used.
souls are peering through their eyes.
Well, it makes me think of like a possession kind of thing, like...
So I think this is right? This is the right thing. I mean, the right initiative order, I should say. Because I know 3 people got
I think so.
6. Okay. Because I know 3 people got 16s.
I apologize.
No worries.
So, who's next?
TD, then Hill, then Frozen.
Okay, so, technical difficulties is off for the night. His computer's just being dumb and Wi-Fi is not helping. So, he also has a speed of 40.
Oh, he can't join on the phone?
Yeah, whatever, I don't know what's up.
No, I was talking with him earlier, and he has this, he's relying on Wi-Fi to communicate, period. So he's going to have the same issues on his phone, connection-wise.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. He already told me his stuff. So anyway, it's his turn. He's going to disengage, because he's not dumb, and go his 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not get ran over by the things here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then since he's not next to anyone, he's going to dash off the board. And that's his turn.
Great.
Okay, then it's my turn. Okay, so I will cast the spell, and my second last regular, highest level spell that I can cast is haste on myself,
Okay, good choice. Good
in
choice.
which that gives me like 2 sets of action speeds.
Yep.
One of those is going to be to disengage, so I don't get attacked.
Okay.
The other one is going to be to dash
Okay.
as my primary action. Does it give me 2 bonus actions or just one?
No, just one extra action. It also increases your speed, I think, though. So.
Yeah, it doubles my speed.
Yeah, so you're regular, what, 25 or 30?
So disengage, and then I'm running 60 feet.
Yeet!
30.
You run off the board as fast as humanly possible.
Disengage, and then 60 feet away, and then another action to dash. So an additional 60 feet.
You are sprinting the fastest we've ever seen a mummy.
That is... Yeah, this would be terrifying at night, wouldn't it?
Yes, good thing it's the early morning.
But while I'm running away, once I'm like 5 foot away from the nearest person, I will use my bonus action to use my 6th level ability to summon a Shadow Mastiff near the primary one of the guys. Like basically in the darkness that then dissipated from my Everard's black tentacles.
Okay. Oh, because when you ran away, it would have disengaged, right?
Yeah. Once I cast the spell, it would dissipate. Yeah. Once I ran away, it would do that.
So with your Mastiff, is it a bonus action?
Do that. Yes, it is a bonus action ability.
Okay. Here, since we're not using it currently, let's use
and then it will attempt. It will then attempt to bite that guy.
Okay.
Bite the big guy.
Big guy. All right. It runs up. Roll its attack or whatever it's to. Does it make sense? You tell me.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
Okay. So it will deal 2d4 pluses.
Alright, roll the hit, or roll damage, I should say.
So that's 6 plus 3, so 9 points of piercing damage from a magical creature.
Okay.
And it needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw.
It does so.
It succeeded?
Yes. By at least 4 before pluses.
Darn. So it doesn't get knocked prone. But there is a Shadow Mastiff there.
Chilling. Being on guard. Okay.
That is the end of my turn. Running away and sending my Beast of Doom to sprint at the headmaster.
Now, as a side question for your beast, does it stay on its own prerogative, or does it have to be within a certain range of you?
It doesn't have to be within a range of me. That's actually the cool thing, is it can just chase whatever forever.
Okay. All right. Next.
It is Frozen.
Frozen. That's right here. You told everyone to run, and they said, okay! And they are leaving you behind in the dust. Would you like to run, dash, and get out of here? Maybe even use a action surge to run even farther? Just triple dash out of here? Maybe. Frozen. I'm going to assume, since he's not talking for reasons, if you are talking we can't hear you, you should probably log out, log back in. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully he'll message us and we can see it from there. Alright, again, I'm just going to DM move him and assume he's not going to make any attacks because he's the one that suggested retreating. Next on the listy list, is
The alpha squirrel.
Alpha
Yeah,
Squirrel.
I didn't realize because I didn't realize that there was like a big bad evil guy squirrel. That's why I just thought all the squirrels were going as one.
It's okay. It's all right. Well, so we're gonna. So he's attacking a shadow-based creature, so he gets advantage. Oh, he hits. Hey, what's your squirrel's AC? Just to make sure he hits. And not squirrel, sorry, dog. And then how much health does he have?
I believe his AC is 12, and he has a decent amount of HP.
Okay. Well, he takes 14 points
So
of
4
damage.
plus. So he is dead.
Oof. Yeah, the Squirrel O'Doom there saw Shadow Dog and just obliterated him from existence. And then, while floating in air, flies 40 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boop. Sorry, it's actually only 8, except for that's not 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I was right the first time. Huh. Yeah, that's its turn. It couldn't reach anyone if it wanted to. So now it's the squirrel's turn?
Yep.
Okay. Well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means all these guys can make it to you. Plus these guys. You have been surrounded. Luckily, you have an ally at your butt to keep you not completely surrounded. Alright, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so these guys can't make it to you, but I'll just move them. Maybe if the freaking tiles would line up. The tentacles disappear, right?
They're gone.
So these guys at least attempt to go this way. They won't make it to anybody, but they've moved. Yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yahoos around you. 3 of them could possibly target your ally. So I'm going to roll odd evens for each one of these yahoos. So first 2, do you want odd or even? There, mage.
I'll take evens.
Okay, so first 2 yahoos. One hits you, one hits your ally, who's dead on a horse. The other
Okay.
2, these 3 are going to attack you because that's all they can reach. And the last guy will attack things. So, Horseman is getting hit twice or attacked twice, and you're taking 4 attacks. So I'm going to start with Horseman to see if he gets marked off his horse. Yes, he does. Now, 1 attack missed, but the other one critical. So, you see behind you one of the squirrel bodies swarm the horse, and it just devours the horse completely. Luckily, it's not an actual summons, so it just dissipates. Unfortunately, your unconscious friend then falls to the ground. And your friends have left you all behind. Because I assume Celestial Horse... Actually, it might live through even on double max damage. Let me look up War Horse really quick and see where that gets me. War Horse, here we are. So just a regular war... Yeah, okay, only 19, so that is the half damage. So yeah, doubled the thing's hit points even if it's a Celestial. Skeletal Warhorse, how much better? Yeah, even the Skeletal Warhorse is not so great. Okay, yeah, so you see your friend who is already knocked out. The horse is running away at full speed, and it just gets chomped by those 2. You have 4 attacks against you. Here they come. I'm going to roll all 4 dice at once, and hopefully they already burned up their criticals. I have good news. None of them crit.
Yeah.
I have better news. None of them are above a 10.
Oh, that's good because my AC is 11.
Ah, well, the numbers are probably above a 10, but the rolls weren't. So,
Oh,
as an
gotcha.
11, that's 1 miss, 2 miss. 2 misses, 2 hits.
Okay.
You need some armor. So you're taking 6d6 of radiant slashing damage.
Okay.
Do you have shield or anything?
I mean, I have mage armor, but I haven't cast it yet.
Okay. What'd you do on your turn? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, so I didn't realize it because I was kind of more invested in what was happening, but I just realized that I didn't get my turn.
Would you
It's
like to
like,
say you casted mage armor for your turn?
I'm good.
Okay, all right. You just stood there stupefied by the monsters that were coming to eat you. Got it.
Right?
All right, so. Alright, so that's 18, 20, so 4 pluses, so 24 points of damage.
Okay.
Alright,
I'm still standing.
good. That's the squirrel's turn, top of the order.
Oh,
Perfect.
I'm last. Sorry. I got
Oh,
my initiative was a 4.
you're right. My apologies. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm gonna cast fly.
Fly. Okay.
So I think it's so. Let's see here. So I'm gonna cast fly on myself.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Actually, here. So because we're level
7.
7. Okay. So at higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, I can target one additional creature for each slot level above 3rd. So
Okay.
I'm gonna cast it at 4th level,
Okay.
and I'm gonna touch both my character and Noah's character, the one who fell off his horse.
Okay. I mean, he's not conscious, so he can't actively fly, but you could technically carry him, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay, so you use your action to touch yourself/touch your friend. You both gain the flying ability. He's an unconscious body, so he can't do anything with it, but he is considerably lighter. Possibly light enough for you to carry. What's your strength?
+0.
Okay, so you're an average strength person, so how much do you weigh?
Let's see here. I think I put in like 160.
Okay, so Noah's weight with equipment is probably a couple 100 pounds at least, just because of the type of armor he wears. So you can carry him, but your speed is going to be reduced to half.
Right.
Uh,
Gotcha.
but you're flying, so maybe you can get away from the squirrel. So you, as a quote unquote bonus action, I assume, will try and pick him up and fly away, right? Is what you're trying to
Yep.
do? Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
I'm going to allow you to try this, but you're going to have to do 3 checks and pass all 3 of them for this to work. So
Okay.
the first one, regardless, is just going to be a straight up strength check.
Okay.
We'll make it as strength save. No, I guess it won't matter for you. Save or check is going to be the same.
All right.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
10.
10! Well, that's unfortunate. So as you tried to lift him off the bat, you missed. You just can't get him. He's too heavy. The flight isn't just there. You know what I mean? If you were a little bit stronger or put a little more oomph into it, you might have been able to do something. But currently, you can only take off with yourself.
Oh,
Basically,
gotcha.
you start flying and then drop him some bit in air. So go ahead and roll me a d6 and cut the number in half, except for
Okay.
unless it's a 1. Basically, you're rolling a d3.
All right. So I got a 3, so it's going to be a 1.
Okay, so you drop him at the height of your. So sorry, you rolled a 3. So
Yes.
you
Yep.
fly up 10 feet before you drop him.
Okay.
The next bit, again, because you're kind of just like taking off out of the blue, this is
Right.
going to be to where you can take some reduced damage as you're flying away if people hit. So go ahead and make a athletics or acrobatics check. Your choice as you try to dodge nimbly through the attacks being swung as you're flying straight up in the air.
That's a 4.
Okay, you get no reduction for the escape attempt.
Hmm.
All right, and then the final check is a survival check to make sure you.
So are these opportunity of attacks done against me for flying away, or?
They will. They will. Trust me. Don't worry.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
No, I just wanted to make sure.
Survival check. Yeah, because they all have all of it. So you're going to take 5.
Okay.
But you have a 50-50 chance if they hit you or your ally. But if your ally gets hit too many times, he did it.
You said survival check?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
14.
14. Okay, good job. You passed this one. As you fly up, you don't bash your head on any trees or anything like that with your rapid escape. You avoid the hard branches at least. So, with that knowledge, let me go back to the chair. Oh man, why do you keep disconnecting me from the freaking chat? Rebel. As you make your attempt, you have to go through 6 attacks as they make their reactionary stabby stabs. Now you have an AC of 11, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll odd even just like I did before, because your ally has a 19. Also, as a side note, Profi no longer has his stuff, obviously. So I got 6 die here, and we'll see how many land on who. Alright, 3, all but one of them target you. I'm glad I rolled all those 6s for now and not for damage. Alright, so we're going to do one attack versus Profi. Versus the man floating in air as you pull him up. Misses. Barely. Then, your attacks. Alright, you have an AC of 11?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to roll a 5 or less. So you're probably going to take a lot of these. 1 miss, 2 hits for the first 3, and then the second 2. 2 misses, and a definite hit. So you get hit 3 times.
Okay.
So 3d6 3 times, plus 2 on all of them. Alright, not so bad on the first roll. Will you keep track of numbers for me really quick? So you're sitting at 8 total on the first one.
Yeah. Let me just write that down real quick, sorry.
Okay,
so 8.
Second one is also an 8. I've rolled 6 times in a row with different combinations of dice. And then the last one. Okay, that was definitely not an 8. That's 11, 13, 15 for the last one.
Well, I'm down.
You're down! Well,
I only had 44 HP.
Oh, do you have anything that could save you from any of those attacks? Yeah.
No. I guess I thought. I guess I didn't realize that. Like, I guess I thought I had to attack them for them to trigger opportunity. I guess I had forgotten that if they attacked me, they got it. I guess.
Okay, so I have bad news for your character. You have fallen to the ground. Crunk. You flew nowhere, actually, because you died before you could take off. You would have been able to drop your ally if you had made it up, but literally, as you're 5 feet off the ground, they just slapped you and your friend, and you both just clunked to the ground. No extra damage, which is a plus, because you're not failing any death saving throws. Now, for the rest of us. Oh, okay. I like that.
Is it my turn?
Not quite. So the other thing you could have done is disengage, but you didn't because casting fly is an action, or is it a bonus action?
Casting fly is a action.
Okay, so you couldn't have disengaged anyway. If you had disengaged before you took off, then you could have not gotten all those attacks. So
avoided opportunity attacks.
Yeah,
right. I gotcha.
It might have been a better choice to just run off screen than to try and fly away with your friend. But,
right. I just forgot about the opportunity attack thing.
It's okay. So, as you lie there, bleeding out as these squirrels surround you, go ahead and make some death saving throws. I'm going to make them... Oh, actually, no, I make them for you guys, don't I? So, I'm rolling 2 dice at a time, 1 for you, 1 for your ally, and let's see if you guys live long enough for something to do things. So, in between every roll, I will give your friendly neighborhood characters, so that's literally everyone else, a chance to see that you guys are down and come to your assistance, or they could continue to just run away. That is their choice as a character. Hiya! Alright, so first one. Do you want to be blue or orange?
I'll be orange.
Okay, so there's the first one. I'm not telling you what happens. Alright, the first roll is commenced. Allies! You see your friends get swarmed by a large group of squirrels. And not only that, but the group is growing steadily. As more of them swarm around the bodies the best they can. Oh, they're not going to make it there, so I'm just going to move them like this. This dude's trying. He's trying real hard. Okay. That is the squirrel movement / the death saves. Characters, is there anything you would like to do, or are you still just running at full speed to escape?
I am going to use... Ooh, I have 2 actions. How far away am I from them now? A full 120 feet, or
yeah, basically, yeah, because you were here when you took off, so you could reach either of them in your haste, but it would take you all your movement to get back, and then you're surrounded by squirrels. Basically, all of us, since we're 1 round away at this point, could take our turn to go back and save our friends. You get back there and then try to fight your way off the squirrels or whatnot.
My problem is if I touch one, I die. So
this is a very terrible choice.
I'm not willing to
for
touch
your character.
one.
Yeah, you cannot teleport in a scrap.
I am instead going to. Can I attempt to shoot a barrage of eldritch blasts in an attempt to get the squirrels to scatter?
So these squirrels seem very determined, like they've been given an objective. They are not wild-minded creatures, and you can tell from the way they're acting.
Oh. Okay, so where is the primary squirrel?
He's over here. I know he kind of blends up with the
Like,
camera,
how far
so.
away is it?
From you, if you ran 120 feet away, he's like 130 feet away. Because he's literally like 2 squares away from where.
Okay, I will move like 30 feet closer, not my full speed, and launch 4 eldritch blasts at that one squirrel, attempting to kill it.
Okay, roll to hit. You say, if I can't kill the squirrels, I'll kill the leader.
I'm just doing 2 things, like 2 rolls. I rolled a 16 and a 15, so no criticals, but I get, my +7 or whatever. So I assume I hit?
How much? Sorry.
With those?
Numbers. I missed it. Sorry. I read something.
Like 20s.
20s.
16 plus 8 and 16 plus, or 15 plus 8.
Yes, yeah, both of those smash.
So yeah, like 25, 26, something. Bam. Okay. 9 points of damage, 7 points of damage, 3 points of damage. So that's 19 plus 6, 25 points of damage.
How much? Sorry.
25.
25
points of force damage.
A solid footing into this squirrel god. You notice that he is locked onto you with the vengeance as a creature of darkness has struck him. You can feel his gaze.
Okay, does he feel like he's taken a lot of damage?
Does
he feel like all the other squirrels are no longer looking at my allies?
Oh, I don't know. He hasn't said anything. When it's his turn, there'll be reactions, though. So,
okay. With that, I will then attempt to run 60 feet or 30 feet back to where I was started.
You do so? Too easy. Next on our group of people, Frozen, what are you doing with your character?
So how far am I away?
You ran as far. I said you used your action surge, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. So you're either 120 feet away, or sorry, you're either 60 feet away or 90 feet away.
No, I wouldn't have used my action surge.
Okay, so then you're 60 feet away currently, because I had you disengage and then or dash.
All right. So I would like to attempt
Mhm.
to dash in,
Okay.
pick up. Okay. I'll give the full description here because it should be a free action for me to just stick my glaive in the ground here. I'm going to dash in,
Mhm.
attempt to pick up both of these characters. I have a 20 strength,
Okay.
and use my action surge to dash back out.
Okay. 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 So you're gonna run in for 60, um, which will be fine. You can reach both of them because when you left, you were in front of where the wizard is now. So technically, you could get all the way up to here, whatever. But you can run through these guys square. The only issue, well, you can kind of jig jag. It'll be fine. So jig jagging in, you can go in there, get to where the wizard square is, and then attempt to pick them up. Doing so will require a strength check, though, because you're picking up two full-grown individuals that are heavy. How much do you weigh?
How much do I weigh?
Correct.
I don't remember if I actually figured that out or not.
Okay. So for in-game metrics, you will need to know that because an average human can lift their own weight, right, or lift their own size in weight, right. That's a healthy, athletic, 10 person, right. That isn't whatever. And then as you level up your how much you can carry, once you get past the 3, that's when you can start doing double and triple and so on of your weight with some other math included. So I need to know your weight so I can figure out the maximum you can pick up.
Yep, I'm attempting to Google that section of the book right now.
Okay.
Because there's dice rolls for that, isn't there?
I think you just choose. It's like they give you like an area. You weigh between 155 and 225 pounds as a half orc.
Well, I mean, there's dice rolls for it also. There's a height and weight. Base is 140 pounds. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, sorry about this, by the way.
All good. All good.
Uh, 260 pounds.
Okay. Cool. So theoretically, with a strength 20, you should be able to carry these guys with little to no problem. So go ahead and make a strength check as you try to pick both of them up.
Right. Make a quick note of my weight and height in there really quick.
Okay. Yeah. Throw it on your turn.
That would be an 18.
Okay, so yeah, easily you pick both of these guys up, and now you are trying to disengage. I assume. So because you're standing in the middle of them, would you like to disengage for 30 or sprint for 60?
Disengage.
Because if you don't disengage, you will be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 6 attacks. Because I assume you're gonna jig jag away from that guy. But with the disengagement, you might not make it off the map. What would you like? Sprint for 60, guaranteed escape, or maybe escape, depending on how I roll, but not take attacks.
I'll disengage and run the 30.
Okay, so you sprint at full speed, carrying these yahoos on your back. They're bleeding out, but you're carrying them, and they're going and going and going. And now DM has to make some rolls to see if the squirrels continue chasing you, because you guys are obviously retreating. Creature of darkness. If they attack, it's going to be your fault, just so you know. Don't need that. I need this. There it is. Okay. See how they're feeling. Alright, so group feeling, leader feeling, minion feeling. Alright, cool beans. So, as you guys are obviously retreating, the celestial creature makes some kind of announcement, right? And these flickering wisp of light disappear into the ball of light that was summoned earlier and go away. The then squirrel returns to his spot in the middle of the orchard. As you guys are running away, you can't see any of this. This is just description for you as players. You guys all run for your lives. So, while you guys are running, I gotta make a couple checks for your friends who are bleeding out. So let me do that. Because do any of you have healing effects or spells? I know the paladin did, but he's down. So.
Yes.
Okay.
I have medicine checks.
Okay. Well, you guys will have to stop to do that. Whereas spells, you could be like, get better, feel good, and they could get healed. Since you don't have any of those kind of things, you can't patch them up.
Touch.
That is the opposite. That'll heal you and kill them for sure. Okay, second death roll for our 2 down companions. Same colors as before.
Yeah, sorry. Yep. I had to think there for a second.
Wizard.
Oh, I have a potion.
Yeah, orange, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want. Yeah.
I'm gonna just pull the dice off and put them on the table so you can see what I rolled for your second set of rolls. So this was actually different because I re-rolled it, but it was a 3 for his second roll, and then he rolled a 9, which are both fails. You unfortunately critically failed. Oh, you can't even see that through the camera. Sorry. You critically failed on your second one and rolled a 3 for your first one.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I had another character idea in mind anyway, so.
Okay.
Yep.
So, with that, both characters die in your arms, Volgas. As you're running away, you can hear their breaths leave them. They are no more. Or at least you think they are no more. I'm gonna text Mark and let him know.
And now I feel bad for picking that mission
There's
now.
no way to like throw a potion onto one of them.
So again, potions don't just absorb to the skin. You have to be able to shove it in them. Again, the only way you could heal them while you guys are trying to escape would have some kind of healing magic. Hey, you know what? You're close enough to me though. Profi can use his lucky ability, and I will on both of you one time. It didn't matter. Okay, that's. Wizard, you were guaranteed to die.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay, but that was a 17 for our handy dandy paladin. Let's see if I can get a single die, probably more, maybe. It's even 2 and 2. Not that I should tell you guys, but you guys know at this point. That's an 8.
Oh, does that mean we can heal them now?
No. So
an 8 is a failure.
Oh.
Well, except for he can add his Constitution bonus.
Oh, so an 8 might not be a failure.
Correct. We'll give him a second. They're dead for now, though. Just as of now, just assume they're dead. He might get a miracle shortly.
Oh. Okay, well, if they're not dead, I have uses for their bodies.
You mean if they are dead?
You're a weird one, aren't
Yep,
So,
I'm looking for some new hires.
ridiculous. Why does
you? You're ridiculous.
be that way?
Mm.
Let's get this other. What's the point? Okay, so you can. Nope, doesn't matter. So it's just straight dice, not Constitution. So yeah, he dead. I'm sorry.
No worries.
You have 2 fresh bodies to work with, and we're continuing roleplay. So let me flip the camera back around to look at my pretty face. I know for the people on Twitch, you just get to see me double, but you know, whatever. It looks great. You love it. Just admit it. Okay, and then you guys don't have videos, so I'm not gonna worry about switching on your guys' stuff. You guys can just look at my face.
And what a beautiful face it is.
Text him Mark to let him know. It went bad. That's all he gets to know. It went bad.
Rude. Hey, Mock, you know how you just made a new character after your last one died? Well.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, the last one was a choice. This one was a not so much. I feel real bad. I've killed, what, 3 of his characters in this campaign so far? No, just 2.
Jesus.
Just 2.
I thought it was just 2.
It's just 2. Yeah. Also, I do like the idea there, but I'm not going to use it because that's not the point of the squirrels. The squirrels have their own story. I got it figured out. Is for our Twitch people. They're making suggestions on what to do with the dead bodies, which I do like. They also suggest that you guys pick up some potion salves instead of potions, so you can rub it on bodies and heal. Which, again, we have historical precedent for that being a thing. But you gotta have a healing kit first and spend time learning how to make them. So, as you guys exit the orchard with the bodies of your friends, you guys make it back to town, I'm going to assume. Because, again, it's not super far away. And most of you weren't really injured. It was like, if you weren't hurt, you didn't die. I know I need to take a nap, but not the end of the world.
I was about 50% damaged.
Oh, okay, so yeah, we got goofed up. So, now that you have seen the squirrels in the orchard, and that's not, you assume that's not even all of them, because there are several orchards. What is your guys' plan? What is the discussion? What are you doing with your friends' bodies? Are you just laying them to rest on the side of the road? Are you doing something weird with them, Necromancer?
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Yes. So there is the ability to I have my, what are they called? My servants, my shadow servants.
Okay.
Is there any way I could have 2 of my shadow servants just like animate their bodies and then they become my servants?
That's a solid question. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say your shadow servants require a special ritual thing from your family that is directly connected to you. So if you ever die, they disappear. They are, in essence, bits of your soul that have been extracted to be used as your own personal servants for making your life easier.
Okay.
Unless mechanically there's some other reason.
Then I will use my Undying...
Okay, Undying?
Well, no, there's not. Then I will use my my Warlock Invocation, Undying Servitude, to cast Animate Dead on them.
Doesn't Animate Dead have a duration?
Yes, it's like 24 hours. So
it does. 24 hours.
Now, as a warlock, is that the best choice? Because like you
Yep.
can't really be burning spell. Oh, okay, all right.
It's not a spell slot. That's the beauty of it.
It's not a spell.
It's an
slot.
invocation.
Oh, it's your invocation. Oh. So now you just have two undead buddies just following around behind you constantly.
So
Yep.
Fulgash doesn't understand all of the invocation and whatnot, but he is relatively disturbed by this.
That's fair. You will also know that kind of magic is definitely illegal, and you should not go into towns with that because the guards will assault you instantaneously for bringing zombies into town. Just so you know.
That's why.
If you remember the rules and regulations at the beginning of the game, way back in session 1, that was one of them. Necromancy was basically banned.
I have these written down. Just a sec.
Okay, find them. If not,
Cannot barter. Slavery is illegal. Duels have legal, consensual. All families wear crests. Everyone. There is no label of necromancy.
Is there not? Okay.
I mean, just morally, necromancy's a little bit off.
So, then I will say it's not necessarily one of the 7 tenets that you guys are supposed to follow, but most towns will not allow zombies inside their border. That's generally a no-no, because if you lose control, then you've just lost
Even
undead
if there's
in the
mummies
middle of
allowed inside their border?
Look, you're well-dressed. No one knows that you're a mummy. No, seriously, no one's talked to you, so you literally
Then I
spent
guess I won't.
all session sulking in houses.
I guess I won't reanimate them.
Okay.
I guess I won't reanimate them then.
You don't have to. It just makes you stay out of town. But okay, so you don't reanimate your friends' dead bodies, which is probably a nicer choice. But do you guys bury them? Do you take them with you into town? What is the thought?
I wanted them to fight forever.
Forever fighting. Now
I will take them into town and have them. I would like to have them taken care of in the traditional way for this area. So a funeral pyre or.
Okay, so you strip them. We're gonna fast forward a little bit. You find someone that is willing to do the ritual. There's a local priest. That for the low price of all the gold on their bodies, along with any relevant items that you guys don't need, which you'll have to get from their characters' sheets later, they will freely, and again, quotations here, take care of the bodies for you. You can either attend the service or not. It'll take about 2 days to prep the bodies and get everything set up. In the meantime,
Were any of them
Wizard
religious?
Man. The paladin definitely was. Wizard Man.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you have a full character written up, or do you have a character concept that needs to be fleshed out?
For like a new character?
Yes.
Character concept, kinda. I was thinking someone like Lawrence from Spice and Wolf. But like go like more like a Khajiit route, kinda, from Skyrim.
Huh.
I guess.
A
Like
merchant.
they want to. Yeah.
Would that be an artificer? Or
I'm not sure. I kind of want to try like a Tabaxi monk.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I got stuff for that. Okay, so let me pull those 2 characters out of rotation though, so I don't forget about it later.
But yeah, I'll start working on it right now.
Okay, and post session we can talk about it a little bit afterwards to again figure out story feats and all that fun stuff / whatnot. So with that we've been streaming for not quite 3 hours yet, so we have plenty of time to do stuff in town. If you guys want to like re-equip, reevaluate, take a nap. Also, take a nap. You should probably start with that so you can get back to full health. Go back to your rooms and spend what's left of the day sleeping because you got your butts whipped by some celestial squirrels. it might behoove you to also take some time to gather more information from the quest giver to figure out why he thought that you could just like go and take these squirrels out with ease.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and take that route. I don't need to heal, but I did use my action surge, and I only get the one. So
Okay. Prophet's going back to his room to sleep for the rest of the night. He's out. He says,
yeah,
I'm a little emotional. 2 new friends dead.
I didn't know these guys very well, but their loss is definitely felt. They were strong and brave warriors. But I will rest, and then in the morning, the first thing I'm going to do is go and question this quest giver.
Okay, so
Too bad they cannot fight on in death.
So you groupity group wake up in the morning well rested, so on and so forth. Mummy, you have spent your time sleeping, meditating, and whatnot. Do you have anything extra you want to do? Because it only takes you what, 6 hours instead of 8 hours or something silly.
4.
It only takes 4. Okay.
4 hours.
All right. So you'll be up 4 hours earlier than the rest of us. What would you like to do? And in all honesty, it's probably the same day. If you guys just take an 8-hour rest, because you guys just woke up from a rest, spent 3 hours running around, so it's like not even noon. So it's nighttime by the time you guys are done resting.
I would like to go and find a place that possibly sells fairy dust.
Fairy dust. Okay, you're in a Fey city, so
or
that's
to collect it.
Probably a relatively likely thing. I'm gonna. So you go ahead and make an investigation definitely investigation as you talk to people around town. I'm gonna roll a percentile die to see if that's even a thing. It's definitely a thing.
I rolled a 20 on whatever that is. Because I have 0 insight.
So you rolled a critical?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you do so, and it's definitely a thing relatively common in town. Though, as you are asking around for fairy dust, several of the people in town just look at you like you're weird or something. You know what I mean? Like, why are you trying to buy fairy dust? I mean, there's people into that, I guess, but weird. You can find someone selling it kind of in a shady back corner, like it's the equivalent of an adult video store kind of thing. It's a little weird. I mean, because in all honesty, this quote-unquote fairy dust is like a natural excrement from the fairies. So you're basically finding fairy poo. Or fairy dandruff. Probably more appropriate.
But it's used in spells.
It is. It totally is. Yeah. But it's still a little weird for you to be like asking about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're willing to sell it.
Okay. Well, I go to the strange man in the back.
He's got wares to buy. If you
what is their asking price?
What's the usual asking price for fairy dust?
Yes.
Is he kind of sweaty with a Hawaiian shirt and a comb over?
I'm gonna say yes, but he's also a Kashyyyk, or
me.
In this case, a Tabaxi. Give me a second. That's fair dust. You need a Y to make it fairy. Okay, so it's a pouch of fairy dust. There's 2 different things. So there's pixie dust and fairy dust. What are you looking for? They have both.
The shopkeeper says exuberantly.
What is the difference between the 2?
All right, so the pixie dust is a uncommon item, so it sells for anywhere from 100 to 500, and it is you sprinkle this dust on yourself or another creature you can see within 5 feet of you. The recipient gains a flying speed of 30 and the ability to hover for 1 minute. If the creature is airborne when the effect ends, it falls safely to the ground, taking no damage. A small packet holds enough pixie dust for 1 use. So you're looking at... It's a super expensive consumable for uncommon. Like, holy cow. I'm gonna roll where he's selling this at. Again, this is a actually I'm
Or
not gonna
maybe
roll.
it would be cheaper inside of a fairy town.
That was my thing. I'm gonna drop it at minimum price because you're inside a fairy town and literally you could follow a pixie around for like a week and collect the this amount of dust if you had the dedication and or the fairy that was or pixie that was okay with you doing such. So it's 100 gold to pick up a bag of fairy dust. And I'm going to treat it like a potion and say each bag has 3 uses. I know in the description of the item it's only supposed to be 1, but whatever.
Okay, and what does fairy dust do as opposed to pixie dust?
Give me a second. I will find it. That is so. Fairy dust is very similar in size and price, but the effect is relatively different because it's not actually a thing. I was looking at the wrong article.
Oh, you lied to me.
I did lie to you. I'm sorry. So I'm going to just say pixie dust can come from pixies or fairies. It's the same thing. The difference is fairy dust is from fairies and pixie dust is from pixies. And if you have a bag that has both of them in it, the effects don't work.
So I guess my question is we received money and stuff on our previous journeys that were retconned.
Okay.
I assume I don't have that money.
Correct. Yes.
Or items.
If it is not on your character sheet, you do not have it. And you should have had stuff erased from your character sheet when we broke out of the whatchamacallit, if you remember correctly. So, like, I didn't get my fancy sword. It's back to just being...
However, I do have a number of things.
I'm listening.
Would I've been able to salvage those Oni hearts?
Yes, besides the one that
from
got
our dead friend
thrown at... Oh, no. Oni hearts... No.
It didn't get eaten because...
You're right. It was in the machine. No, it wasn't an actual magical item, so it got compiled into his crystal that you have.
But the glaive resides. Okay. I will attempt to bargain.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And instead of giving him money for his pixie dusts, how much pixie dust does he have?
Let me roll a d12 and see how many of these packets he has on him. He has 12 packets. This dude's packing. And again, it's a combination between fairy and pixie dust, so it's probably... Let's roll that again and see how many is how many. So he has 3 things of fairy dust... 3 things of pixie dust and 8 things of fairy dust. Again, they have the same effect, they're just different names. And it's probably considerably easier to collect fairy dust than it is pixie dust.
I will then attempt to bargain for give him a dire wolf pelt and a glaive and 5 gold for half of his stock. Going and telling him about how it was from a honorable Oni warrior. Regale the stories, the tales, to give it more value.
Mm-hmm. He goes, I see you got creepy crawlies on you. How about, as he looks at your little hand puppets that are, there, he goes, I'll trade you one of those for 3 packs.
I technically only have 3 living claws, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
I have the invisible one, the claw one,
and the hand.
The giant one.
Yep. And he can't see the invisible one, so he's basically asking you for either your mount or your clawy claw.
No. What I'm saying is I have 4 hands, but I'm only summoned 3 of them.
Okay.
So I have a spare hand.
You could technically
I give
summon.
him the unused hand.
So you're giving him one of your hand servants. Which one is it?
No, because I have 4 hands, but I only have 3
Right. He is asking for
reanimated ones.
He is asking for one of your reanimated claws.
Oh, I can't just give him the other Oni hand that's not reanimated?
No, he wants one of the cool creepy crawly things. There's you can see one that's like on your shoulder acting like it would be familiar, and then there's the one you're riding around on because you don't walk on the ground.
I say that they are currently not for sale.
He goes, okay. Well, let's see. For a glaive, a little bit of gold, and that diary pot, I can give you 1 pack of dust.
I will try to roll persuasion for 2.
Okay, go ahead.
A 15 plus 7, 22.
So, as you make a 22, you're talking out every orifice you got. You know what I mean? Good, bad, and different. This man stonewalls. He goes, look, I have to sell whatever you're trading me, right? Selling a weapon, you got to go through the right people to be able to do that normally, right? You can't just be trading weapons out in the open here. The guard catches you, you get in trouble. Second, you got a direwolf pelt, which is great, but we're in the wildlands. It's dime a dozen for the most part. If I really, really wanted one, I could get one that's already into a real nice blanket or rug. But this is raw, and I got to sell it to someone raw so they can make something out of it. You're lucky I got a guy that owes me a favor that needs to do that for me anyway, and I'm okay with direwolf. And a little bit of gold, a little bit of gold. You know what I mean? I understand you trying to get something in there. So I'm being nice and selling you one. You don't have to take it. You can keep your stuff and have a wonderful day. My prices are firm. I know what I have. I literally could have not rolled worse for you, and I apologize.
How is it that I rolled a critical to find a guy?
You found him. Just be the guy. He probably sells other stuff
I
too.
attempt to ask him one more time with a little bit of extra. Wait, what kind of speed? He's a tabaxi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cast a suggestion spell in an effort to be like, oh, come on, man. You know, if I'm staying here a while, maybe I'll bring something else to you.
Okay. So this isn't friends, this is suggestion. So suggestion is a non-violent command, basically.
They do not find out. Yeah, and they do not find out.
Unless they succeed on the check, right?
No, they don't find out at all. It just doesn't work.
Oh, right. Okay, so let me. What's your save DC? Actually, don't tell me. I'm gonna roll.
I'm
gonna roll. Tell you what it is, and then you can say if it passes or fail. And I'm gonna trust you because I trust you.
Okay.
4 total.
Yeah, he fails terribly.
Okay, so he fails terribly. What is your suggestion?
I hope you trust me. That he'd be like, oh, come on, like just trade me, this one time, this for this, and then if I happen to come across some other stuff, I'll bring business to you.
Okay, so you make your suggestion that even though it's probably a little less than he wants, you might be able to give him something more in the future. So he should definitely trade at least 2 to you, right, for your stuff?
Yes.
Okay. With the past suggestion and all the other fun stuff, he grumbly goes, fine, but I expect something before you leave town. If I don't get it, well, I'll figure something out. Just know I know
Try to do
people.
business again with you sooner than later.
You leave with 2 packets of fairy dust. Jumping over to Frozen and Profi, who are trying to find this buyer. So, Frozen, what kind of checks are you making to find this buyer? I know Profi is making investigation checks, because that's one of his better choices. But what are you doing? Profi's fucking...
Well, if Profi is going to do the investigation to find the guy, then I will just assist him.
I need it. I need that assist. I rolled a 1, so anything's better than that. Fuck. I gotta stop using... This dice is dying tonight. Anyway, I rolled a 7 for the second one, plus 3 is a 11. I'm getting... Or Profi is getting nowhere. He's trying to get answers on who this guy is with the job, but no one can recognize the name. No one's ever heard of it before. The writing doesn't look familiar. They don't know where the address it came from because it's missing that information. It only has assigned at the bottom. So finding said... Description. Not going so well. The only instructions on the thing is payment will be rendered upon completion. So you have to assume that it's probably one of the one of the orchard owners, maybe? You don't know. But let's see if you can roll any better than Profi did. Because Profi rolled
Probably not.
Brussels sprout.
Investigation. Persuasion or intimidation would be a better roll.
So you could do so. The issue is you don't know who you're talking to when you're saying things. First, you have to succeed on the investigation to figure out who you need to talk to.
Is Profi assisting me?
Yes, I will do my best, since I can't do anything myself.
So, with Profi's assistance, I go from a critical failure to a critical success.
Yay! Good job, Profi! So, with your critical success, as you're looking through, you looked at this thing maybe 10, 12 times, you can find anything like relevant-wise on it. You flip it over and go, hey, they wrote some stuff on the back. Look, it's a small map of the town. It says, meetup location here. Let's go there.
Let's go there.
So, from that, you guys will head on to the, whatchamacallit, or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, over here, not being able to talk. You guys head to the location of the spot, and sitting there, just kind of like in the middle of a dark alley, is a dude smoking a pipe. Looks to be a curmudgeon-y old man, just kind of angrily sitting there, rocking back and forth on a regular chair, just kind of like leaning back, leaning forward, leaning back, leaning forward. Do you approach him?
This is sketch as heck looking, but yes, I approach him.
You do so. As you do so, he looks up and says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, you can tell me why 2 of my companions are dead.
He looks over at you and says, "Well, no, I didn't kill anybody."
No, but they died chasing your bounty.
Oh, you took the bounty off the bounty board. Well, what happened? They're just squirrels.
I think we all know that they are far more than just squirrels.
They're far more than just squirrels. They're just glowy squirrels.
That can take 24 damage and not die.
Yeah.
They can't be damaged by normal weapons. They can only be damaged by magic, and you're going to, again, try to tell me that they're just glowy squirrels.
Look, I'm paying my entire fortune if you can get rid of them. Otherwise, I just expect a pelt or two so I can pay you a little bit of gold and I can finish what needs to be done. You're telling me brave adventurers like yourself can't deal with some glowy squirrels? I don't understand.
Can I roll an intimidation check?
You 100% can roll an intimidation check as you try to intimidate the old man smoking a pipe in the alley.
In the middle of a dark alley, on a regular chair, rocking back and forth. I feel like this is such a stupid idea. Oh, that is another 20.
Just quit your intimidation check. So, as you give him the big bad deal, are you staring menacingly? Do you say more things to him? How do you intimidate this man? Just out of curiosity. You don't have to say it. I just need to know how you are going about your critical intimidation.
I am very. I've lost all patience with this guy and his dodging of the whole thing. So I'm gonna probably grab him by his collar and bring him up to my level, and menacingly growl in his face.
As you grab him, he suddenly is no longer an old man. The pipe remains in his mouth, but he is a unaged-looking tiefling that looks relatively concerned that you have picked him up out of his chair. The old man, guys, is no longer there anymore because you've touched him. As you do so, and you pick him up and you're yelling at him, and you see that he's changed form, does that change your attitude or whatever, or do you continue yelling at him until he responds?
Yeah, I'm going to continue yelling at him until he responds. This just serves to make me angrier at him.
You do so! The anger flows out of you, and he goes, oh, okay, wait, what do you want me to do about it? I literally am paying you for a job. You don't have to take it. It's an open job on the board. If you weren't competent enough to finish it, then sorry.
Why did you leave out all of this important information?
What do you mean? I told you exactly what these creatures were. Dire celestial squirrels. It says so on the board. You guys will know that creatures with the celestial and dire traits do generally have various things about them. Dire creatures are generally bigger and tougher than their normal variants, and celestial generally means they are resistant and whatnot to a whole bunch of stuff because they're celestial. Which, that is player knowledge, not necessarily character knowledge. You guys might have no idea if that's a thing. Heck, for that, Profi and our handy-dandy fighter over here, go ahead and make an intelligence check or history check. Let's say history check. To see if you would, or nature check, sorry, history or nature. To see if you would know that about celestial and or dire. As this, him saying this might have triggered something for you. Oh, my history is way better.
That's a dirty 20.
That's a 19 plus 4. Okay, so both of us, that clicks. He says those words. We didn't actually read the descriptor, right? The descriptor was read off by our buddy. He might have totally missed the fact that the dire celestial squirrels was in the title. He might have just said they were glowing squirrels in the orchard. As he says this, both of us relatively quickly realized that the job description was there and we probably should have prepped better for it. We didn't, so this guy's kind of in the right. You're still picking him up and shaking him, but how do you react from here? Profi over here going to slightly tap you on the shoulder and be like, maybe we talk to him after we take care of the squirrels then. Show him that we're not so incompetent as he thinks. Basically trying to politely escape from the situation that is being caused.
Yeah, the realization is there. The anger is also still there.
Totally
so I'm should have made a barbarian. No.
Look, Next level.
I'm just gonna at Profi's touch and words, I'm just gonna just huff and just kind of like not throw him, but just kind of drop this guy.
You do so, and as he lands, right, and you guys start walking away, I assume.
Yes.
You guys start walking away. He goes, "Well, did you kill any of them? Did you get any pelts or anything like that, or was it all for naught so far?"
Profi, if I speak to him again, I might hurt him.
Profi will turn around and go, yeah, no, they just swarmed two of our friends and ate the faces until they died. Then we dragged them out and they died in our arms, kind of thing. So it was a little traumatic for us. So I'm going to politely suggest you shut up before he stabs you, because you don't look like a celestial squirrel and things might actually hurt you. At that, let's see how he feels about that statement. He gives the okay, whatever nod. You know what I mean? He acknowledges what we said, and we depart. So, this being said, the price for clearing out the squirrels makes way more sense. Because, I mean, 1,000 gold is good money for any job. You mean 10 gold a pelt seems a little unreasonable for squirrels. But now knowing what they are, it might make a tad bit more sense.
So, along with the knowledge of celestial dire squirrels, would that dirty 20 gain my character the knowledge of what would most likely be needed to hurt them?
Yes. So I'll give you a couple more bits of detail-y stuff again just from celestial study / whatever. Maybe you read a book about it or a nature guide weighing your past, but you specifically remember that this is going to be a mix between player knowledge and whatnot. But swarms, right? So like the regular enemies always take half damage unless they're hit with AoE attacks, such as our Warlock's Hadar's Grasp, where it was slapping them and had an AoE effect. Celestial, meaning they are completely immune to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage, unless it's from a magical source. They're also resistant to radiant damage, so our Barbarian's Bolt of Light that was hitting the big bad guy probably hurt, but just not as much. Same thing with my Psychic. I mean, that probably did damage, except for it was, I got to do 6 or whatever at a time at most, or what can I do? I can do 8 damage at most with my Stabby Psychic Blades. I guess I can also activate the extra Stabby Stabs that do 2d6, I think is what it is. I don't know if that's this level or later on. Let me look. So that's Psychic Blade. That's for failed stuff. Side bolstered neck is for failed saves. Yep. Okay. So my Psychic Blade just does an extra 1d6 points of damage, and then I can use the bonus action to make a second blade and make another attack. I did one where I get to do extra damage with the blades equal to my little extra die things is until later on, I think. But with that, death followed, so say it. But yes, so you guys know you will need some kind of magical weapon to fight these things, and preferably AoE attacks. As a DM to player note, Younger's attacks were like 3 points from killing those swarms because he did like 24 or 34 points of damage to them or something silly. And that was almost their hit points. If he had had one more round of Hadar, they would have been donezo. Not talking about. But
those weren't like actual swarms, though, right? Those were just squirrels.
So the squirrels counted out as swarms. The only ones that didn't have the swarm property
then there
were
should have
the
been
biggest.
several dead squirrels.
Yes, yeah, and
because like when you kill like half of a swarm, its attack is halved and stuff like that.
So those don't apply. That's a different thing. Unless it specifically states that, hey, there's some kind of effect.
That's a swarm thing.
Is it? Pretty sure. Could be wrong.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, they have less HP because less of them exist. So that means there should be a bunch of squirrel bodies on the ground.
There should be. Okay, here it is. They can occupy the same space as character, blah, blah, blah. Taking opportunity attacks, obviously. So swarm of insects, right? Is the swarm can occupy another creature's space, and vice versa. The swarm can move through any open space large enough for a tiny insect. For these guys, that would work. The swarm can't regain hit points or gain temporary hit points. So there's no point where in 5th edition where swarms get a negative unless it's specifically noted in their character thing. They still get the same stuff all the way through until they are dead. They just can't gain. They can't heal, and they can't gain temporary hit points. And then they can also fit in the same square as players. For some of them, that matters. For the squirrels, it does not. Oh, see me. So, with that knowledge, you guys know things you might need to pick up or do. The issue is, I don't know if you guys have enough money to buy anything, because all of your stuff that you've done so far has been in the Vacuum O space. So your gold is limited to what you had on your character before. So like Profi currently has 25 gold, because I spent my money on stuff and things that had proved basically useless.
What if we went back to the burnt manor and rummaged through the... What if we rummaged through the manor of burnt downness?
So, it's probably no longer on fire. That might be a smart place to look and see if you can gather some stuff, because you guys didn't really clear that out too much, if I remember correctly, right? This is more of a question for the people there.
Nope.
You guys could pick
There's
up other
also-
jobs that don't have celestial squirrels.
There's the other job.
Mm-hmm.
In this area, if I wanted to get I would need at least a +1 glaive.
Okay. So normal +1 items with no effects are basically considered uncommon, right? Because you can get them via good craftsmanship, which are technically cheaper, but they don't have the magical effects. Or you just have the straight +1 weapons that have force, or an elemental effect, are generally 100 gold to get you to a weapon that has that, but it won't have any major effects besides the elemental attached to it, kind of thing. Because you can turn any item into a magical item if you find an enchanter. The issue is finding an enchanter, but you're a Navi full of fairies and pixies and other fae. There's probably enchanters in town. But you're looking at 100 gold at least to upgrade your weapon.
Okay, so I need to replace my weapon because I left it back in the orchard when I went back to pick up
That's
my
right.
companions.
You did say you dropped it. So as a note,
I know where a glaive is.
You could have just instead of dropping it because you had actions, you could have used your action to throw it on your back. No, you couldn't have because you went to pick them up. I take that up. I take that back. You're 100% correct. You definitely dropped it so you can pick up your buddies.
Glaives are not they're not horribly expensive though, and I'm sure there's a blacksmith that sells or would manufacture one for me.
Right. Or you could try to find a magic one.
Or I could try to find one that's already magicked. See, the thing is I did not spend any of my starting gold.
Okay, that's important.
So I still have 512 gold.
So you could buy a legitimately good weapon with that. The issue is just...
I could, but I could also help supply my teammates that need weapons are dead.
I mean, Profi.
No, Profi needs one.
Yeah, because what did I get for my magical item? Originally, I got the Ring of Deboni. That's what I got. I remember now.
I have a wand.
All my weapons are normal. So, yeah, if you can help me find a magical rapier, To help pay for that, I'd be very much in your debt.
All right, so I need a magical glaive and a magical rapier.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to be on the lookout for. That's what me. That's my next quest right now is to find those.
Okay. Hey Twitch, thank you for the follow. I gonna just realized I haven't been looking at you, so if you guys have been talking, I truly apologize. Type things again. I'm here. Okay, so you're gonna go on the look for a rapier and a glaive. Now, again, like I said, you could just buy those items outright, or take Profree's rapier and just have it enchanted.
Isn't it bent?
Yeah, maybe that'll be part of the cool magical effect. Maybe it'll be a thunder one, so it like jiggles or something. I don't know. But you're right. It 100% is bent. It's still usable, but it's definitely goofed up.
Whichever is the most cost-effective route is the way I'm going to go.
Okay.
So whether that be directly finding magical items or purchasing the items and having them enchanted.
So, cheapest, putting in quotations here, would be buying the items and having them enchanted with some kind of elemental +1, right? Because again, that's 100 gold. If you find an enchanter that is selling their services for 100 gold, they could charge up to 500 to do that. But I'm going to tell you, because of how magical this area is and how often they need to arm people that are going into the wildlands, prices are going to be relatively cheap for the enchanter, if you can find an enchanter. Again, you're in a place that it's probably pretty common. Magic weapons, on the other hand, are going to have more effects built into them. You're looking at anywhere from probably closer to 250 plus for various items. But if you buy an item that's 250, it'll probably have a +1 and an effect, instead of just being an elemental based weapon. So that's on you. It's how you want to spend your money. It's your money. But cheapest is buy the item and pay for the upgrade and add some kind of element to it. And the element, when you're critical with it, with the system that we're using, is you get the double dice, and since it's an elemental effect, it gains an extra 1d whatever the weapon damage is in that weapon effect damage. So if it's a flame sword, it does an extra 1d8 fire, so on and so forth, plus the weapon damage itself, right? Or the dice is whatever, same thing. You double the dice, but the effects are fire. And then I don't remember. I lost it. Sorry. Anyway.
It's all right. Yeah, in all of my looking through, I've never found a magical glaive.
Well, so we'd have to homebrew it probably. So you'd have to type it into your app or whatever. Because there's not a lot of magical glaives that are appropriate for level 7 characters.
Yeah, I think that the easier route is just going to be finding a glaive and having someone enchant it.
Okay, so now before you go off and do this, we could also still search the manor. There was weapons and things there. There's also dead bodies. There might be more glaives, and your character would probably know where the weapons are stored. Theoretically,
I'm also down for that. I am down. I'm absolutely down for that. But
okay.
in the off chance that doesn't work out, then
okay. I mean, again, it's not the end of the world one way or the other. So, other people in this group, what are your guys' thoughts? Younger / wizard men, because I know you're still there.
Oh yeah,
in spirit.
I mean, I was gonna hold off. I mean, I'm just since I'm not my character's dead, I didn't really want to influence anything. I guess if that makes sense.
Your character is with us in spirit, So you can influence from the grave if you have ideas or suggestions. I may
Oh,
also have you voice random
That's a
characters
lie.
as necessary.
oh, okay, gotcha. Um, I mean, I'm good with whatever the party decides. I don't really have. Sorry, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. Sorry.
That's all good. Okay, so Younger, you're good with going to the manor. Obviously, Profi says that's a great idea. Let's go take my brother for what he's worth.
Yeah, that's a great place to get, resources such as, weapons, money, possibly, some secret, weird juju stuff. Um, Skeletons, those can be useful on occasions.
You're just gonna go around and pick up the burnt bodies and be like, I'm gonna use you later. That's what you're gonna do when I'm a little afraid. Also, why is Spain so negative over here? You guys should delete all your videos because we look bad. Shut up, Spain. Beat him up. He's still alive. What's he
I think
complaining
he's
about?
just like, we're terrible gamers. We're all dying.
It's part of the game. It happens. So,
He's like, we're terrible gamers. We're all dying.
I mean, to be fair, the last two characters that die were a conscious choice and were narratively killed, not actually killed. So, whatever. But, moving on. So you guys head back out to the manor. It's been, what, 2 days? A day? Something like that?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2 days, because I think
Day
it's
and a
been 2 days.
half-ish, 2 days?
We'll say 2 days. So it's been 2 days since you guys have been out here last. And obviously the fire that caught has burnt the top level to the ground. So all the pillars and things have fallen on top of each other, and there's slightly burning embers kind of all over the place. Luckily for the forest and nearby area, the stone foundation stopped it from spreading excessively far. You can see that there's some burnt and dry grass kind of in a circle around the what's left of the building. But obviously it didn't catch the forest on fire, so good job, nature, or whoever built this house. So you guys approach what was the front entrance. One of the two large doors remains on its hinges. The other one has fallen over. The remnants of the corpses of the bodies that you guys took out when you were here last are burnt to a crisp. They were Luke Skywalker's aunt and uncle, Aunt Peru, Uncle Owen level crispy. So, from that,
The fleshy one.
Smells like pork.
smells, yeah, exactly. Speaking of, I'm gonna take a bite of pork. Thematic, baby. Oh.
He just said he's going to eat human flesh.
Nom, nom, nom. So,
Well, no, he said pork. He didn't specify long pork.
Yeah, but you just said, smells like pork instead of a building full of burnt people. And then he's like, I'm going to eat some pork.
hey, don't be making your weird connections. Who would ever say such a thing? Anyway, so the lot of you decide to do the stuff and the things while you're here. So this is going to be a bit of investigation checks, / some strength checks to move things out of the way and stuff like that. So as you guys are searching the burnt remains, the other thing, from time to time, I'm going to roll a d6, and every d6 is how many rounds before something happens. What happens will be determined by another roll on that whatever. But we're going to start with that. So, the event roll from round whatever. Okay, you guys got plenty of time to search before something crazy happens. So, we're going to round robin it, including the ghost. Ghost, you can give suggestions and or point the people in the right direction with your ghostly spirit. So, feel free to roll any kind of check you want, and I will apply it or give it to one of these 3 surviving characters.
All right.
Also, I take that back. You can be the robot man. He's still with us. He didn't die. He just ran off with us, so he's here. So,
Oh, all right.
Monsieur Wizard, would you like to be the robot and just roleplay him for now?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I don't know what his stats are, so just use your wizards because that's funny. Possession, it works.
You are possessing him.
Without his knowledge, he wasn't ready.
He
So,
animated the Warforged
we
body.
all get
With
one
his soul.
check. So please make a roll. Tell me what you rolled and where you're looking. Again, we're on the base floor level. This is a 3-floor building. You guys have been in 2 floors, full gas, and the robot know about the other floor that you guys did not explore when you were escaping, which is a secondary basement that is not quite as deep as the one you guys came out of originally.
So, first of all, would my character have a knowledge of where weapons would be stored?
Yes. So, weapons were generally stored in a rack by the front door if they weren't being carried on a person. There wasn't an excessive amount of extra weapons, but any extra weapons that were there were at this rack.
That is my first stop.
Okay.
So,
Make an investigation check at advantage.
well, considering the first roll's a natural 20 and the second roll's a 14, I'm going to go ahead and take the 20.
Yep. So the thing is exactly where you wanted it to be, and as you approach it, there's a large pile of wood kind of burning on top of it, just like all in the way. But just out of the blue, a gust of wind blows over, and the wood crumbles, and you can see about half the weapons on the rack. How many weapons are there, you say? Well, let's roll a d8 and find out. Okay, I'm going to re-roll that because that was a 1, and there needs to be at least 2 because I said weapons. There's 2 weapons that are on the rack. Ooh, sorry. I rolled a 1 2 times.
And what might those weapons be?
Okay, let's roll a d12 to find out. So the first one is a 2, which I think is a short sword. I'm going to say they're both melee weapon, or sorry, martial weapons, just to make life easy. If I could spell, that'd be nice. Okay, skip. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
So, actually, one of them is a flail. Actually, let me re-roll that because there's way more martial weapons than I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we're going to roll a d20. So let me re-roll that really quick. Number 4. Oh man, we just missed the one you wanted. There's a great axe there. And the other one is a critical, which means it's a weapon we need. And I'm going to say it's a glaive, because that makes sense.
All right.
So, there on this weapon rack, there are 2 salvageable weapons. There's probably a couple others, but they've melted or been crushed by the falling debris. So the 2 salvageable weapons on this rack are a glaive and a great axe. I assume you take both of them with you.
Yes.
Okay. Next on our listy list, Younger.
Yes, I will attempt to look for the wonderful thing called money.
Okay, so you're going to search
Coin. Oysters that were burnt.
Okay, so where would you like to do
or for a safe.
Okay, so you're looking for something a little more hidden. Okay, so you need to pick an area to make your search in. Are you doing it on the first floor, the second floor, or the third floor? Or should I say the first floor, or the first basement?
I'm doing it on this.
Okay, so you're looking on the top burnt floor. There would also be an upper level, but it's gone.
Yes, so if there was a metal box that was on a higher level, it might have dropped into a very conspicuous place.
Correct, possibly. All right, so you're making an investigation. All right, now, so we know that you're on the top floor. and I don't have to describe the lower floors yet. If you remember the layout, there was a kitchen-esque area right on one side, with little ramparts and whatnot above it, along with seating, gaming, whatnot on one side, and then there was a supply deck area, which is what actually got caught on fire on the far side of the doorway. So there's like
What
2/3 on one
about
side, a
from
third
the
on the other side.
outside of the building?
From
When everybody left the outside of the building, was there an area that looked like it was like the top floor where the main guy sat at?
So no, you will know.
Or his lackey Beardy?
Beardy was just in the parlory area, and you guys already took Beardy's stuff, so he didn't have anything on him. But the where the big guy stayed was in the lower area where our little tubey sleepo cryopod things were.
I'll look where the fire blast happened.
Okay, so you look on the supply deck side. Okay, cool beans. Roll your investigation check, or perception check, or just.
I will roll perception.
Okay. It'll get a different outcome, but still good.
I rolled a 13 plus 3, 16.
16 total. So with a 16, you and your hands scour this area pretty well. The would-be supplies that were here, because they got hit directly by a fireball, are basically wasted. There was food supplies, there was extra like rugs and things like that were like of a nicer nature that could have been sold, but because it was directly fireballed, a lot of the stuff over here took a major amount of the damage. So it isn't necessarily crushed, but it's super burnt. As you guys are perceiving around, you do find something of interest, but it'll take your whole round before you finish up. So we're gonna jump over to Sean. Sean, what are you doing? Where are you searching?
Can I roll an Arcana check?
You can. What a great idea. Make an Arcana check as you do that.
16 plus 7, 23.
Okay, so your robot brain says do an Arcana check. And as a barbarian, you're like, I don't really know how to do that, but I do wild magic, so that makes sense. And you rolled a what? I'm sorry.
23.
23. So this barbarian's like, there's a lot of magic here. It is mostly coming from the sub-basement, but there is some coming from the regular sub-basement. I can feel it. This top floor doesn't have an excessive amount of mana left over, but it is very warm because there was fire here, and fire hurts.
Right?
Okay.
Right.
It takes your whole turn to discern where everything is. Type of magic is also something you could discern with that good of a roll.
Okay.
Coming from the lower basement, right? Like we said before when we were doing the thing, is illusion. What's the one that changes things? Starts with an A.
Oh, transmutation?
Not transmutation, but that falls under it.
Alteration.
Alteration, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Is it alteration? Is that one of the classes?
I know there's abjuration.
That one. That's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, abjuration.
Yeah. Illusion, abjuration, and some time magic are all down in the lower section. In the sub-basement, there's elemental magic.
Interesting. I'll let the... sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'll let the party know that.
Okay, so we have a pretty good idea of where the Arcana is focused. Your handy boy Profi does the logical choice and be like, there are burnt, crispy bodies. There might be some stuff left over. So I'm going to make an investigation check of the bodies on the top floor from all the people we murdered. That's a critical, baby. So this dice has redeemed itself. It's hitting crits all nights, either 20s or 1s, and unfortunately mostly 1s, but it's doing something. Okay, so of the... Oh man, how many things did you guys fight? 8? Bodies. You know one of them for sure already got its stuff.
There's like 15.
Is it 15? How many people did we fight off? You're right, no, it totally was that many. Okay, so I'm going to roll a D12.
You had a lot of guys.
We did, yeah. I'm going to roll a D12 and see how many of them have salvageable stuff. That's 10. 10 of the 12 bodies have salvageable stuff on them. This includes their basic weapons, which were all long swords and whatnot, some money, and some armors.
Bows.
Bows. Oh, yeah, we definitely had 2 archers, huh? So, I'm going to say, though, that those bows probably didn't survive the fire, since they probably weren't made out of metal. So, of those 10 items, how many of them were special? So, there was plenty of bodies. There was 12 items that could have occurred. I'm going to roll how many of these said items were special with the D10. 3 of them! Okay, so there are 3 special items amongst their bodies. Alright, now we get to roll for that. So, we're rolling D4. Let's do numbers. So, 1 is going to be gold. 2 is going to be weapons. 3 is going to be armor. And 4 is going to be some kind of item. Sound fair? Sound fun?
Feels good.
Yeah, first one, 1! Alright, so off the bat, gold. Cool. Second one, 4. Special item. Okay. And the last one, 4 again. Alright, so we tie in 2 special items and some excessive amount of money. So we find a pouch and it's filled with, that's pretty good, rubies. How many rubies are in said pouch? 12! There are 12 rubies. That's good money. That's 50 times 12, so what's that? 600 gold worth of rubies.
Nice.
That's going in Profi's pocket. 12 rubies. All right, friend. I can now pay for my own stuff. None of you saw that. Okay. For the other items, so we know 3 of them were whatever. I'm going to roll a d8 to see how many of them are armor versus weapons. We're going to do weapons first. Alright, so there are 3 weapons and 4 sets of armor. So, if I remember correctly, those guys were all wearing scale mail. There's 4 usable sets of scale mail for us to carry out. If someone can make a note of that so we can sell them later, because I assume none of us want to wear scale mail. And it's worth money. That means the weapons. We're going to roll on that d20 again. They're all martial weapons. Let's see what happens. First one, number 10, right in the middle. It's probably a longsword, is my guess. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's a morning star. Okay, interesting. Next one, number 9, is a maul. Okay. Who's rocking a maul? And last one, number 1, is a battle axe. Okay, battle axes are cool. Nothing that I can use, unfortunately, but those are still good weapons. Again, if someone can add them to list, if we want to steal those or give those away, cool beans. The other things.
Adding them to a list.
Magic items. Magic wondrous items. Give me a second. I will find something appropriate. Is someone snoring in the background? Or is that someone talking?
Yeah, those are dogs.
Oh, okay. Well, we can't
Dogs.
We can't yell too hard at them then. Alright. Is there a filter on this? Because that'll make life easier. Oh, look. Wondrous items. Ho, 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 ho. Alright, now let's, how many, there was 2 of them, right? So we're going to roll for rarity. The highest level you guys can get is a rare, so I'm going to roll a d6 and cut it in half, basically. Or cut the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of thing. So the first one is a rare. This will be the best item you guys have ever found. Oh, okay. Why is this is a rare? That sounds wild, but okay. So you guys pick up a off of our big bad yada yadas. I'm gonna say he actually had something on him. He had a set of bracers of defense. So for those of you that don't know, these are just bracers, but they give you a +2 bonus to your AC if you're not wearing any armor or wearing no shields. So, that's cool. I'll be stripping naked for that one. It's better AC than I have currently. Alright, next one. Also rolling d6, see what it is. Not as good. Definitely no braces of defense. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Oh, this one's super cool. Okay, you guys pick up a cloak of many fashions, as it is not burnt, but is still surrounding the body it is with. So, while wearing this cloak, you use a bonus action to change the style, color, and apparent quality of the garment. The cloak's weight does not change, regardless of its appearance. The cloak cannot be anything but a cloak. Although it can duplicate the appearance of other magical cloaks, it does not gain their magical properties. So basically, it's just a cool cloak, but it's still a cool item. So, we can fight over that later, or we can just sell it. I mean, it's a common magic item. It's worth money. Those are the two things you got. Bracers of defense and Wondrous Cloak. Because that's cool.
What about the rest of the weapons?
I already said what the rest of the weapons were. They were a mace,
you said one Morning Star, a maul, and a battle axe.
Yes, those three things. Mm-hmm. Oh, the other weapons, right? Were armor. They were armor.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't.
Yeah, it was
the
scale mail.
Scale mail.
Yeah. Again, a lot of the stuff that they had on them either melted or is unsalvageable because of the heat, and so they detempered and would be brittle and unusable. We'll just say
Okie dokie.
It got hot. Okay, so you guys are relatively confident that the top floor is almost as searched as possible. There's probably a couple other things up here. We are on.
You said I found something.
Yes. Well, we'll get there. We have 4 of our however many things done so far, and nothing's happened yet. So who would like to go next?
I'd like to open whatever I found.
Okay, so we'll jump to you. You over there in the dirt and dust and things find what looks to be a what's the right word for this? It's a lockbox is the easiest way to describe it. But it is not locked. It is a solid metal box with a small rotating hole on the top, big enough for a hand.
That was cool.
Any hand?
You would assume it's big enough to where you as long as you're not trying to shove your both fists in it or your entire up to your elbow or whatever, you think you'll fit. Normal people hands, yes. Humanoid
okay,
hands,
I'll have
yes.
one of my Oni hands shrink to the exact size of whatever hand went in there to turn it or whatever.
Okay, so you open up the top and your Oni hand jumps in there. It disappears.
I tell it to come out.
There is no response. Do you stick your hand in there?
Arcana check.
You do so. Roll it.
16 flat.
16 flat. This is definitely a magic item. There's Arcana coming out of it. When you open the hole is when you can detect it. When you slide it shut, it is non-discrete. Nondescript. The word I was looking for is nondescript.
I guess is this like is this like one of those things that is a bag of holding?
I don't know. You don't know what the 16. You just know it's magical.
Because my creature didn't come out.
Correct.
Well, my creature didn't come out. I want to determine whether or not it's safe to put my hand in it.
You don't detect any malicious intent, so it's not intentionally eating people.
Then where's my hand? Because my hands can fly.
Okay.
I pour it upside down.
You do so! Shake it, shake it, shake it! And out comes your hand, along with several other items. How many items you say? I don't know. Let's find out. 5 other things come out of the bag, not including your hand. So, just like before, we're going to use the same system that we did. So, we're using our DS4s. Ready? So, first item is an item. Second number is a weapon. Third item is money stuffs. Fourth item, another item. And lastly is a whole set of armor. So, as you empty the magical containments
Maybe it's light armor.
After you empty the containment bits of this thing, it's empty and light, and you can shake it. It feels considerably lighter without anything in it. Though, dropping the things in there, like when the hand went in, didn't seem to change its weight.
Okay.
So, what do you want to roll for first?
I like money. I need some of that because I have like 25.
All right, so you did the money thing. So a pouch on the inside. What kind of pouch is it? Let's roll here. Okay, not so bad. Emeralds. Yeah. Max. Okay, so you find 10 emeralds, and emeralds are worth 25 gold apiece. So you find something that's about 250 gold's worth of stuff. They aren't necessarily all emeralds, but that'll be the easiest metric conversion for stuff. Yeah. Next, so we had 2 weapons, a piece of armor? Or was it...
Items.
2
items, a weapon, and an armor.
Okay, so let's do the weapon, because the weapon's the fun bit. Go back.
Maybe it's a bow.
Wait, it's definitely not a bow. What do you keep asking for bows for? So, this item.
Because I can use them.
Oh, well, fuck you.
It could even be a boat.
A 19! Okay, well, you're getting a bow because I rolled a 19. And that's basically the player's choice. So, what came out was a longbow. It appears to be not an ordinary longbow. You'll probably have to use identify or something to figure out what it does. So, with that,
cool.
Armor.
Any arrows? No arrows?
No arrows. What was I?
Armor.
Okay, actually, I know exactly what this armor is. So this is ornate half plate. So this is a breastplate, right? It has imperial symbols on it, and as you show it off or throw it out or whatever, Profi goes, "How did that fit in there?" Firstly, secondly, that's ceremonial armor. That's basically pure gold. It's useless in combat. It's also super heavy.
That sounds like money.
You would assume.
Money.
All right, and then magic items.
2 of them.
I'm working on it. All right, so first we're going to check their rarity. So the first one is okay, it's uncommon, and the second one is a common. All right. Now, before I go too far, the wondrous items could also technically be scrolls, rings, or potions. So we're going to roll a d6 to see where it falls on there. Or sorry, d4 to see where it rolls on there. So first one is number 2, rings. Okay. I don't even know if there's any common rings. We might have to make an item up. Okay, there is uncommon rings. So your uncommon item is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. All right, D8. Let's see. Number 2, Ring of Jumping. That's kind of a cool item. So, this is a
For uncommon?
No, yep, this is the uncommon one. So, while wearing this ring, you can cast the jump spell from it as a bonus action at will, but can only target yourself when you do so.
Oh.
And it requires attunement. That's kind of a cool item. That's kind of dope. All right. Next. All right, next one is a number 4. So back to wondrous items, and it's another common one. So let's see what we get here. You guys want a cuddly Strixhaven mascot? That sounds like fun. That's actually kind of a cool effect. You can't, while you're holding it, you can't be afraid, and you can use an action or whatever to keep it attached to you so it doesn't fall off.
Nice.
It can be a tattoo. Ooh. What's this do? Give me a second. It's my tea. This might be super cool. Oh, okay. So the other item that was in here was an Orb of Shielding, which is 100% something Hexus would have. So it's another attuned item, but it's a spherical chunk of crystal or stone aligned with one of the planes of existence. If you're a spellcaster, you can use this as a spellcasting focus. If you're holding the orb when you take damage of the type associated with the orb's material, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d4 to a minimum of 0. The material and the associated damage types are listed in the shield here. So, I'm going to roll for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What kind of orb did you pick up? Because this is super cool. Number 2! No, that's dumb. He wouldn't have that.
Radiant.
It 100% was radiant. He would not have a radiant item. He was not a radiant kind of person. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Necrotic. Okay, that makes way more sense. So it's a necrotic orb. So it's a Marblean Obsidian.
A fight against necrotic?
Yeah, so if something does necrotic damage, you can use your thing to reduce it by 1d4. Now, I will let you use your argument die to say it's something different, if you would like.
I would kind of like it to be radiant.
Okay, alright. So you want to use your argument die to say it was the original number. Alright, what color were you again? You were red, right? Or were you... So I'm yellow.
Yep, I was red.
Okay. Let me turn this down so you guys can see my Rolodex here. Hiya! Alright, rock beats. Alright, it's radiant. Never mind, DM doesn't know nothing. You win.
Whoa.
You can't use it anymore, but that was
So
an appropriate use.
what's it made out of?
So the radiant ones are made out of Arian quartz. So it's a quartz. Because none of these other ones are called quartz anyway. So it's a clear crystal made of a special shiny quartz. So yes, it reduces radiant damage, which is good for you because you take double radiant damage. So maybe that's why I put it away. I wasn't a fan.
Yep.
All right, that's it from that box. How are we doing on time? Let's take a look real quick. Okay, so we're sitting at over the 4-hour mark. Would you guys like to continue investigating now or later? You technically still have one round before something occurs. How are you guys feeling? Where are you guys at? What's the thought?
So I've been up since like 3 a.m. last night.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of like nodding in and out here, unfortunately, which I'm really sorry about.
That's okay.
I'm trying to pay attention.
Like I said, this is an appropriate spot for us to move on because I can tell you this now, that's all the stuff that your guys are going to find on the top level. And the top level probably has the most stuff. You guys could just take what you have and get out of there before any crazy events happen and just be happy with what you got. Or you could do a little bit more exploring and more things will happen. Well, I want you to decide this now, though, before the others come back and we have to introduce new characters and all that fun stuff next session.
Maybe that could be the crazy thing that happens is we run across people who find us.
Maybe. I'll work on it. I got a whole 2 weeks to figure this out. So, thoughts, opinions? You guys want to keep going or call it. Obviously, if you need to leave because your character is dead, I can obviously move on and you can be done if that's what you need. If not, what do the rest of you think? Are we okay to end it, or do you guys want to keep going? Because we did start,
Right.
5-10 minutes of waiting.
I'm okay with
do the full
stopping it
fork.
tonight. That
Okay.
way Spade and them can go and search too.
That's a good thing. All right, so I'm gonna go to OBS. All right, those of you on Twitch and all that fun stuff, thank you so much for watching tonight with an adventure of mind. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you tomorrow for Starfinder. Woo!